And if you are MAGA, if you are a conservative, if you are a Republican, whatever you might be, request up. If you don't like Joe Biden, if you don't like Kamala Harris, if you don't like me, if you don't like the Democratic Party as a whole, if you love Trump, come on up. I need to hear why. I need to hear how on earth it is that somebody supports Donald Trump. They stand by. It's very strange. Very strange. All right, let's see here. Who do we got? Let me know if you're MAGA in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. We literally just started the live, so if you're getting in here, welcome. Let's see. This guy can't, UOMES, I can't invite you for some reason. Oh, Ali, congratulations, Ali. I saw your Instagram post or your Twitter, whatever it might be. Congratulations. Congratulations on becoming the Democratic nominee for your district. That's fantastic. Congratulations. You're amazing. And you're going to win. I believe in it. All right, let's see here. Devin, I can't invite you for some reason. You don't have live access. Yeah, I can't invite you for some reason. Let's see here. Let's bring up...
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, is that Fox News on in the background?
Oh, nothing. It was a movie.
Oh. All right, why
I don't watch these so-called... Do what?
Why are you MAGA?
I'm a Republican. I'm not MAGA.
But you're voting for Trump.
There's a big difference. So don't sit there and call me a MAGA when I'm that one. So thanks for automatically assuming that.
You're voting for Trump, right?
So why are you a Harris fan when all of a sudden you used to say when I used to watch your lives and watch your...
Can you answer my question? Are you voting for Trump or not?
Yes, I'm voting for... I'm a Republican, so yes.
So MAGA. Okay.
I got a question for you. No, I'm not a MAGA. I got a question for you.
Yes,
why all of a sudden did you sit there and say, oh, Biden's not jumping out of the race, he's not dropping out of the race and all this, and all of a sudden he did?
I mean, all the publicly available information at the time was that Joe Biden was staying in the race. He told reporters he was staying in the race. He was telling donors he was staying in the race.
He's not dropping out. He's not doing any of this. He's just a fake.
Yeah, because he was saying he's not dropping out.
This is a false narrative from the right. All this.
I never said it was a false narrative from the right.
Okay. Yeah,
nope.
You did. I've seen.
No, I didn't say the calls for Joe Biden to drop out. It's a false narrative from the right. What the hell? What are you talking about? No.
You said this on your lives. I've seen you say it.
No, that is incorrect. I never chalked it up to a false narrative from the right. That's not true. But yes, it is. No, anyway. Joe Biden was telling reporters and donors that he was staying in the race, and he then changed his mind. He was presented new data, and based on that data, he made a different decision. I don't understand what the contention is here.
That you were sitting there saying all these statements about how he was not doing any of this, nothing. And that you're sitting there saying, oh, the right's scared and stuff like that. That's why they keep pushing that he's going to drop out and stuff. And what?
Well, I do think you guys are scared. Yeah, you guys are definitely scared.
Of Biden? Apparently not, because he's not racing anymore.
No, I'm just saying generally. I think you guys are scared. I think you guys are scared of Kamala Harris, especially.
I'm not afraid of her.
Well, you should be. I mean, she raised like $310 million in July. Donald Trump raised $137 million. She raised double what Donald Trump raised.
How does it feel to circumnavigate the DNC and to have somebody just appointed y'all's primary for the president of the United States without actually having a primary poll and stuff like that?
We, the Democratic Party voters, voted for Kamala Harris to be on the ticket. So when we're voting for a presidential nominee and a vice presidential nominee, it is understood that the vice presidential nominee is the natural heir to the presidential nominee. And so when we support Biden, we're supporting her as well. And please don't try to preach to us about the democracy. Oh, you didn't get to vote or something like this. You guys couldn't give a damn less about democracy. In 2020, Donald Trump tried to overturn an election. You guys had no problem with it. Then when the Democratic Party does something that was within party rules, then you guys have a problem. By the way, this is within party rules. I don't know if you know that. The delegate system we have right now. Hey, buddy, if you just stop fucking talking for 5 seconds, maybe we could have a conversation. I promise nobody wants to hear you speak right now. I swear to God, nobody needs to hear you yap. So within the Democratic Party right now, we have a delegate process where if somebody drops out and they reject the delegates, like it's perfectly fine for somebody to say, hey, I don't want to be the Democratic nominee. So if they do that, then the delegates are then able to go vote for whoever they want. want. Those delegates, those elected delegates, those chosen delegates, then decided to go vote for Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee. That's what happens. That's how she got picked. There's nothing illegal, unconstitutional, and not democratic about it. That's what happened. Now you can finally speak. Well, when I was trying to get out my entire sentence, you were yap. Okay,
are we a democracy?
Go ahead now.
Is the United States a democracy?
Yes, we are a democracy.
Okay, what is the definition of a democracy?
So I know where you're about to go with this, saying, "Oh, well, no, we're a constitutional republic."
What is
no, I won't. No, I won't, because I'm going to save us the time. I'm going to save us the time. You're going to say, "Oh, we're a constitutional republic." I'm going to say, "Yeah, a constitutional republic is a type of democracy." You're going to say, "No, it's not," and I'm going to say, "Actually, democracy is a broad term. There are different types of democracy. We happen to be a type of democracy."
What's the definition of a democracy?
Oh my God. So can we just save the time that whatever you're going to do here? We know that you're going to say it's a constitutional republic. A democracy is a broad term that indicates a form of government where people choose their leaders. That's a broad term for democracy. Now there are different. Hey, buddy, if you would stop talking. Okay. Now I'm going to mute you because there's literally no point in me trying to overtalk you. So if you would stop talking, you would hear that I just answered you. I answered your question, but you just kept talking. You keep running your mouth. And then you don't even hear the answer that you're requiring. You're screaming into your phone saying, "Answer my question," and you don't even hear the answer to the question you're asking. So what I said to you was that a democracy, broadly, is a term that references a type of government where people choose their leaders via voting, right? Democratically choosing their leaders. Now, a democracy is a general term, though. A democracy doesn't just... You wrong? What's the definition of democracy? What is it? Go.
Okay.
Well, if you have MAGA Mobile, it's a tough thing. Look at him. He has MAGA Mobile. Everybody, look at him. He can't even get the words out because he has a MAGA Mobile. Look, he can't even get the words out. Look at him. Oh no! What a shame! What a terrible thing that this guy is now lagging. Look at him. Buddy, you got to get off MAGA Mobile. Maybe go to a state where they invest in infrastructure. It'd be a good idea. Anyway, God, that guy was annoying. So irritating. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up. Look at this person. I gotta invite Wendy. Come on, Wendy. Come on, Wendy. Come on, Wendy. Come on up here. Come on up, Wendy. Look at Nathalie. Nathalie? I don't know. I invited both Wendy and Nathalie. We'll see if they want to... Yeah, buddy, I'm sorry. That's not happening, Aiden. You're below the age of 18, buddy. Not happening. Let's see here. I just invited both of these people who were spamming MAGA, by the way, and they didn't come in. So what does that say about them? What does that say about them? Yeah, you come up with your own conclusion. Look at this guy. Super MAGA. I feel like I talked to that guy before, so I'm not going to invite him. Blaine Mitchell? All right, we'll give Blaine... Blaine, I invited you. You're welcome to come up, Blaine. Come on up, bud. Come on up. Come on up. Bucky? Let's try and invite Bucky. I invited Bucky as well. Any of these people? No, they're not. None of them are coming up. Why you guys... Why? Oh, here comes one. All right, hello, are you MAGA?
For sure.
How old are you?
30.
All right, why are you MAGA?
Because I can be. You like Harris, I like Trump. But hey, I just want everybody to know that's
wait, hold on. Well, okay, actually, I'm not engaging with you because you're obviously not coming up here to have a conversation. What a terrible guy, that guy right there. What a terrible guy. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. Don't do any of that crap. Don't go oh, well, I can be. It's like, oh, yeah, yes, of course you can be MAGA if you want to be. Of course. Oh, we didn't know that one. That was new. That's news to us. Let's bring up Royce. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. Venmo, Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support. What's up, Royce?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man.
Are you MAGA?
I am now, yes.
Now as opposed to
previous to the convention.
The convention made you MAGA?
Oh, I'm sorry. Previous to the last debate between Biden and Trump.
The debate made you MAGA.
It did, yes. Well, I should say what followed thereafter.
And what after the debate made you MAGA?
Yeah, sure. So I would say that I think that there was, for lack of a better word, some sort of political fraud or malpractice. And you're going to ask me to elaborate. I will. Okay. So, Harry, let me ask you this question. Okay. So, if you have two guys, okay, and they are both doing campaigns against one another, and obviously these attack campaigns are both negative in nature, and then after all this money is invested from both sides, somebody just drops out, and a person that is impartial and doesn't really have much of a reputation in terms of attack campaigns comes into the play. Who are people going to vote for?
Well, I don't even know how to answer that question, to be honest.
Well, I'll ask it again. So you have two people with two campaigns.
Yeah, no, I heard you. But are you trying to say that Kamala Harris is the impartial person?
When I say the word impartial, I shouldn't say that. I should say she's a person that has less of the spotlight on her, for lack of a better word. She had less
people going to vote for then? I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors. I don't think like based off of those factors we can determine who somebody's going to vote for. Because you might have like Mustache Man from World War II is more well known than I don't know me, right? So, yes. But I feel like if I were to run for president versus that guy, I probably would do pretty well.
No, I grant that. I guess what I'm saying is that these attack campaigns, you would argue they're both negative towards each other, correct? So you would say that there's two sides. There's negative things being said consistently about both candidates, okay? Biden and Trump. Then 3 or 4 months before the election, there is one of the people that all these horrible things were being said about drops out, and a person that nobody's been talking about comes into play. You have an option. The bad guy, Trump, or a person that nobody's been speaking about really at all. Everyone's going to go to that person. So it seems like this was planned in a way. I'm just saying my opinion, okay? I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. This was planned in a way and executed so that when Biden dropped out with such short notice, everyone now is going to go towards Harris. And I will say that Harris is going to win. She will win. But I think the way it was done was actually fraudulent, because now you have Trump, who invested all this money in attack campaigns, as well as Biden towards Trump, but all of Trump's money went to waste because his attack campaigns were in vain, because now the person that they were all pointed towards, he's gone.
I have 2 words.
Sure. I mean, I'm just saying my opinion.
Cry more.
I mean, that's
what it is. I mean, that's what it is. Like, if Trump is like upset that all of his money went to attacking a candidate and now that candidate drops out, I'm like, sorry, that's life. Sometimes that happens. This is there's no undercover plot to make this happen. Joe Biden said, he even said in his outro speech in the Oval Office that he believed he deserved a second term. He wanted to run for a second term, but his advisor said, hey, the data's not there. He agreed. So this was not like an undercover plot to somehow get Kamala Harris in there. There was nonsense. This was a decision made by him and him alone. I mean, and Donald Trump can weep over it. I don't care.
I mean, Harry, how can we really quantify if there's a system in place or not that was executed in this manner? How can we really quantify that?
Well, we would quantify it with evidence. Do you have any evidence?
Again, I am openly saying there's not really evidence, but you have a series of events. When you couple these events together, it seems to point towards towards some sort of malpractice. Okay, and let me say it this way too.
Your malpractice indicates that something bad was done, that something wrong was done. But everything that has happened in the past couple of weeks is perfectly within line with the law and Democratic Party rules. So I don't understand how it could be malpractice if this is something that could very easily and very possibly occur.
Sure, I agree it can possibly occur, but I watch your videos quite often. And I see you come up in my newsfeed and a lot of the things that you talk about, and you seem to be you were a very heavy Biden supporter, and you supported Biden up until you're still a Biden supporter, and you supported him all the way up until the point where he actually dropped out. But you held this narrative, and I see you actually on Piers Morgan holding the same narrative, that you believe that Biden is cognitively. In terms of the cognitive ability, he is fine to be president and fit to be president. You still hold that belief?
He is.
So you believe 100%. That he shouldn't? So you believe that Biden shouldn't have dropped out?
I'm not going to get into like whether he should or shouldn't have. He made the decision, and now we have Kamala Harris as our Democratic nominee. So whether he should or shouldn't have is not, in my view, even a relevant question right now. I still believe that Joe Biden is fit to serve. I still believe he's been an amazing president. If he were the candidate, I still think that he'd be an amazing candidate. But now we have Vice President Kamala Harris, and she too is an amazing candidate. So I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know, man. Like I said, the whole thing is just like there's a lot of things happening. And again, I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but there's just too many things coupled together that just seemed very odd. Like I hate to even say this. You were familiar with the terrible guy Andrew Tate, correct? He's a loser.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a loser. Okay, he is a loser. He said one thing that kind of rung a bell in my head, and I realized he said, "You have 3 lives in this world. They try to cancel you. They tried to jail you." And if that doesn't work, they tried to unalive you. So they tried to cancel him. It seemed like they tried to jail him, and now they tried to they tried to unalive
Who's they?
him. I would say, again, this is all going to be up for interpretation here, but I would say that this definitely would be something that happened on the left, man.
Come on, man.
I don't know, bro.
Look,
I don't know, Harry. I don't know, Harry. I'm just saying. Man,
you have to get out. You're espousing conspiracies. You got to come back to reality. I know that there's a lot of theories out there, and somebody can be very convincing in making you believe them. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Appreciate you. But you got to come back to reality. There's no 3 options that Andrew Tate lays out, and it's so prophetic. It's no. Let's just be clear here. Republicans have tried to cancel every Democratic quote unquote every Democratic candidate there is. They're suggesting that Joe Biden should be jailed. There are Republicans who've suggested that Joe Biden should be unalive. Do I think that there's a conspiracy to make this happen? No. Right? We just have to base ourselves in reality. All of these 3 things, I can't even fathom.
I understand.
All these 3 things are independent of each other. And Trump's criminal case, especially, that is on nobody except himself. He broke the law and then was found guilty in front of a jury. Nobody did that. Nobody forced him to break the law. He did it.
I grant that. I understand that. Let me ask you this. The last question. I have to get going. I was watching videos and I never saw an update. Did they release information in regards to the Pew Pewer that attempted to take out Trump, and anything in regards to what side he was on or motive behind it?
No, they still haven't really determined a motive. They're still looking into it. Apparently, the FBI recently found a social media account that's possibly tied to the shooter that he had when he was 15. It had very racist and anti-Semitic posts on it. But we do know a couple of things, such as he was a registered Republican. He apparently his house had Republican signs, Trump signs on the front lawn, and in class, his classmates testified that he was very conservative in his beliefs, but he also donated to a liberal PAC when he was 17. It's all very just up in the air. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it doesn't really. That's what I heard too. But his actions don't really follow if he was these things. I don't understand. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let you bring somebody else up, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Thanks, Royce. Have a good night. It's crazy, man. All right, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Also, Venmo, Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live. No pressure, of course. And make sure to double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 200,000 likes. Let's keep spamming the likes. It goes a long way. Let's see here. Who do we got in the box? It's already full with 100 people. So I can't invite anybody up. We'll have to pick somebody. Let's put up Christian. He has a bald eagle as his profile picture. I just want to.
Let me go right with this bitch.
Hello?
Oh yeah, hello.
Nah, bro.
What's the matter, Harry?
How old are you, bro?
I'm 30 fucking years old. How old are you?
What year were you born?
1985.
Okay.
Yeah. And you Democrats are gonna fucking ruin the day. You and Joe Biden have literally actually tried to kill Trump.
Me?
Yes, you.
I tried?
Yes.
Really?
You want to talk crap about Trump? Let's go. What has Kamala Harris done to this country to deserve to be the vice president?
No way you're real, huh?
Come on, speak.
Are you wait, how old are you again?
I'm 38 years old. How old are you?
I don't know.
What's the matter, Democrat?
People are talking in the chat. Apparently math is not mathing, but I'll play into it. I'll have fun. Yeah, so Kamala Harris, man, what a crazy guy we have here. Kamala Harris has a long record of public service. District attorney in San Francisco, attorney general.
And let's just see.
Senator,
California's worse now?
She's not currently representing California in any capacity other than vice president.
I don't care.
Smoking a pack a day? I mean, what's going on with his voice? It's crazy. I'm trying to understand what happened. You don't care?
No. She doesn't do nothing for this country. The Democrats are going to have her in the basement just like Joe.
Okay. So
And yes,
when,
I'm a
like,
Trump
for
supporter.
example, are you against Kamala Harris's program she established as district attorney?
Yes.
It's like I didn't even tell you what it is yet.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's basically like this program where first-time nonviolent offenders don't get sent to jail, and as opposed they get to sent like to rehabilitation, and then they go to like school or college, get a degree, and get a job. And if they do that, then their records are expunged. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that if they do well, but if they do bad and they try to kill somebody, they should be in jail.
Yeah. So what I said was nonviolent offenders, nonviolent first-time offenders.
Okay.
So you agree with that? So that's something that Kamala Harris did.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
And Kamala Harris
It's called the Back on Track program.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So, Joe Biden and the Democrats sit there and tell us that the border's closed when we all know the fucking border is open.
Okay. So what?
Explain that to me.
So what major policy changed from Biden to Trump? Like major immigration policy?
Everything that Trump did was better for the economy. Gas prices were better.
Wow, that's a crazy pivot. Hold on now. Run it back real quick for me. What major laws changed on the border from what major laws changed on the border from Biden to Trump? You're saying that Biden opened the border. Okay, what law changed?
Think about it. Millions of people have come in this country.
It's not answering my question. What did Biden do?
You're not answering the question.
You're not asking me a question. I'm asking you a question right now, buddy.
How many people?
What did Joe Biden do to open the border? What major laws changed from Biden to Trump that opened the border?
Build the fucking goddamn wall.
You're not answering my question. What did Biden do to open the border?
He didn't finish the job.
I don't know what that means. Your screaming doesn't change it. What did Biden do to open the border?
He didn't finish the wall, Harry.
Okay, so wait. If the wall not being finished means the border's open, then you would also agree that the border was open under Trump because the wall wasn't finished under him either.
It was closed.
Okay, so then wait, how is that the case? Because if you're saying that Biden stopping construction on the wall opened the border, then the wall wasn't finished under Trump, so the border would also be open under him via your logic.
I'm just saying in general, all Biden had to do was finish the job. And I'm going to say this. I know you're a Democrat and you talk a lot of crap, but you can't tell me that this economy is better when people are struggling.
Hold on now. We're not done on the border yet.
Hey, you want to talk about that?
Whoa.
Hey, let's cowboy up. Come on, Sleepy Joe. Come on, Kamala Harris. Or should I say, Kamala Harris the fucking hoe.
Wow. You say that one more time, you're gone.
Ho.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Go do some reflection, buddy. Go to therapy, buddy. Go to therapy. Go get some therapy. Go get some therapy. Yeah, that was a huge L by that guy. Can't argue on the merits. I mean, we saw that, right? He can't argue on the merits. He has to attack her, saying something else. Is anybody surprised? No, I'm not. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 300,000 likes. Venmo, Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live, but there's no pressure to do that. You guys know that. Alondra, thank you for the $10 on Cash App, saying, may God bless you always. Flattered. Keep it up, Harry. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the $10. Thank you for being here and supporting the live. It goes such a long way. Hold on now. Hold on. Fox sounds like Fox News. Donna, thank you for the $47 on Venmo, saying President 47 for Vice President Kamala Harris being the 47th President of the United States. Donna, thank you so much. I appreciate you. W Donna in the chat. Shout out Donna. What an amazing person. We love Donna. W Donna. And then Lizette, thank you for the $10 as well on Venmo. I appreciate you. Olivia, thank you for the $5 saying hotties for Harry. Yo, shout out Olivia. What an amazing person Olivia is. And Miles, thank you for the $1. All right, Shay, talk to me. Why are you MAGA?
I'm not.
Oh, then okay, we agree.
Yes, I think it's very idiotic that these people come on your live talking about something that they are MAGA, especially a person of color or a black person.
Yeah, all these people are pretty crazy, aren't they? Just crazy weirdos. Just weirdos.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, well, hey, I appreciate the support. I appreciate you voting for Kamala Harris. That's awesome. So, but if we agree, I don't need to convince you of anything. So,
No, not at all. Right? I just wanted to say that, and I just wanted to say you and Parker, y'all keep doing y'all thing up here, okay?
Oh, thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. You have a good rest of your night. All right. Thank you.
You too.
Oh.
Bye.
Shout out Shay. Nice person. We love Shay. All right. Shout out Shay. Genuinely. Shout out Shay. Good person. We love Shay. All right. Let's drop some people down. Maybe refresh the box a little bit. Get some new people up here. Get some. Let's see here. All right. Let's give Brian a shot. Let's see what he has to say. I hope that guy gets a cough drop, man. That guy that was screaming his face off, that guy needs some medicine. Go get some medication, buddy. Go need a little bit more than a cough drop to get that guy back in reality. It's just he has to go figure it out. I'm not a doctor. Can't diagnose that. Insanity, maybe. Yes. Psychopath. Not sure which one. Oh, Seth has the red bar of death. Oh, what a terrible thing. Red bar of death. No Wi-Fi, no connection. Can't have a conversation like that. Let's see here. Man, what the hell is that? We got some interesting people in the box, man. Jeez. Adam. Let's just put up Adam. I'm just going to pick a random guy. He has no profile picture. We're going to take a shot in the dark. I imagine this guy's request expired, but we'll see. Hello, Adam. Are you there?
Yo, are you there?
Yeah. How old are you?
19.
What year were you born?
05.
Okay. Why are you MAGA?
Because I agree with his geopolitical influence. Let's just say, do you agree with Biden pulling troops out of Afghanistan?
Yes.
Why?
Do you disagree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so you disagree with Trump on that then?
What?
You disagree with Trump on that because the deal that got us out of Afghanistan was actually negotiated under Donald Trump's presidency in February of 2020. And so the reason it was such a disaster was because of Trump's bad deal. So Biden had to follow that deal when he got into office. It didn't just automatically expire because Biden became president. So you disagree with Trump on that, just as a fun fact.
All right. Also, why do you think that when that person came on was it's embarrassing for people of color to support Trump, and you as a white person is saying you say they're idiots and stupid or crazy if they're of color and support Trump? Why do you say that?
I said no. The people that come on my live are crazy. I didn't specify any identity.
So would you say I'm crazy for supporting another person? I don't see why you just put down people that support another person for different beliefs or ideologies.
I mean, look, I do think that you. I think that you have to be either uninformed or crazy or just not compassionate to support Donald Trump. And the reason why I say that is I think that I have plenty of Republican friends who are not voting for Trump, and I've known them our entire lives. They're some of my best friends, and we disagree. We have great debate, and I really love those people. But they're not voting for Trump because they can see that Trump is objectively a bad person, that he's dangerous, that he is not a Republican. He's uniquely awful. And so if you're voting for Trump, you can put aside the assault, you can put aside the crimes, you can put aside the business fraud, you can put aside the indictments, the bad policy, the bad leadership, the bad presidency, and you're still voting for Trump regardless of all those things. And I have to imagine that either one, you don't know about the awful things that Trump has done. Number two, you just don't care about other people. Or number three, you are genuinely crazy and think that what he's done is good.
Okay. So do you believe that? No, I just think Trump's a better candidate than Kamala, especially Joe. If you thought Joe was a good president, I mean, that's just outright embarrassing in my opinion.
Let's explore that a little bit. Do you think that expanding So one of the policies
Order.
that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris passed was called the PACT Act, spelled PACT Act. It's a bill that expanded health care to veterans. So essentially these veterans or these service members at the time would go abroad, they'd serve in the Middle East, and then they'd throw all their waste in these big holes and then light it on fire to get rid of it. But they would, what?
Sorry.
Yeah, they would,
I
breathe
agree
in
with the
these fumes
Veteran
and,
Act. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay, so you agree with that. So,
yeah, no,
and 1.2 million people have signed up for that plan. Do you agree with Biden's?
Do you agree with 40 billion going to Ukraine?
Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. If Trump was president,
I'm not done yet.
Ukraine would have never been attacked. Millions of people wouldn't have died if Trump was president.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Why do you believe
true.
that? Why do you believe
it's
that?
100%. Because Trump had the balls to go shake hands with Putin, make alliances.
Joe Biden has also shaken hands with Putin and met with Putin at the beginning of his presidency.
First president ever to make alliances with Kim Jong-un, shake his hand,
an alliance with Kim
to go into
Jong-un.
North Korea.
Wait.
No.
What are you talking about? We don't have an alliance with North Korea.
Not an
We didn't
alliance,
under Trump's
but at least
presidency
have the
either.
balls to walk into a country, shake a man's hand, and look
And
him
what
in the eye.
did that achieve? What did that achieve?
What wars were we in, and what wars were going on in the world when Trump was president?
Wait,
Name one.
I'm sorry. I'm asking you a very specific question to a specific region with a specific country. What did it achieve with Trump going to North Korea? What did we get as a result?
The rest of the world looking at a president as a brave man. And then
Really? I don't understand why that's brave, because he's surrounded by all these huge Secret Service agents who would never let anything bad happen to him, especially when he's like in front
How
of
is that not
North
brave?
Korea. So I'm not
how it's not
understanding
brave.
why is this brave?
I'm so glad there's people in this chat that agree with me, because
Well, of course it's a political live stream. Of course nobody's going to always agree with me.
Yeah, you're right.
So how is that brave?
Because he's a renowned crazy man, and
But
Trump-
I don't understand. Just because he's a crazy
Trump went
man,
into a communist country and walked
they're
in
not communists by definition.
what?
They're not communists, but
What
they're
are
not
they?
socialists by definition.
What are they? You been there a lot?
It doesn't
You
matter.
been
It
there a
doesn't
lot?
matter. No, I would never step foot in North Korea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Because you don't have the balls to. Trump does. Good thing you're not a president.
No, it's because I'm not president and I don't have Secret Service around me and would take me out of the country if I get locked up.
It's true.
Right,
Charlie,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there's nothing brave about what Donald Trump did. It also didn't change anything for the better for the United States. North Korea was still threatening us after. They were still developing their missiles. They were still firing test launches. They were still doing all of that stuff. So I'm genuinely, what did it? He left. But point is, thank you, Jen, for the subscription. It changed nothing. There's nothing benefited. The United States didn't get anything from it. That guy just straight up left. He's like, yeah, I ain't doing this anymore. He hit the deck. He straight up left. He's out of here. He ain't doing it anymore. What a terrible thing. All right. Let's put up Nihemi. I'm butchering their name, to be honest. So that's my bad. Julia, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you. And Tara, thank you for the $10 as well, saying thank you. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot that you guys are all here, just watching. Jamie, thank you for the $1 as well. Tashika, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. I feel like I recognize you, huh? I feel like you're a live streamer. I feel like I've seen your lives. But I appreciate you being here regardless. Skylar, thank you for the $1. And Matthew, thank you for the $1. So talk to me. Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Why is that?
Well, I didn't like Trump before. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like him before. I started in 2016. I did not like him. But I started to like him after I realized the media brainwashed us. And so that's why I'm MAGA. And
The media. Okay, so what made you think the media brainwashes you?
there's a lot of examples. I'm just gonna give one. So
Okay.
one example is so I remember when Trump started, he was running for the presidency, and I would always hear, he's a racist. He doesn't like Mexicans. He thinks all Mexicans are rapists, all that stuff. So I'm hearing these things and not doing any of my research. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is horrible. And why would he come out and say these things? So I started watching his speeches and his rallies, and he would say certain stuff, and I would watch it on real time. He would say certain stuff, and then boom, next thing I know, the next day, or not even, later on the day, the media would say, Trump said this, da da da. I'm like, no, he did not. So why are you guys only posting just a snippet of the rally, not posting the whole thing, leaving context out of it? So I'm like, yo, like this is, like, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with everything that Trump say.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you.
I don't agree with everything that Trump say. But there are a majority of the things that he say, I absolutely agree with it. And I agree with his policies,
Oh, yeah? Okay. So I don't understand why you hold this standard with Trump. Like Biden goes out and has rallies, or Kamala Harris goes out and they have rallies, and then Fox News, Newsmax, and OANN do the exact same thing to them. They do the exact same thing where they'll take selective clips and run it. They've done it to Joe Biden's entire presidency. They'll take a clip of him stuttering in his speech because he has a speech impediment. They'll say that he's not fit to serve, and then they will hold. He does. He's had a lifelong stutter. Okay, and then they'll frame that as like, oh, Joe Biden's not fit to serve. They do the exact same thing to candidates on the left, but you watch certain media and that makes you want to vote for Trump. That makes no sense. This is just like a problem with the media that you're watching and tuning into.
No, it's not only about the media, but you cannot say that the media.
You said it was.
No, you can't say that the media treats Biden and Trump the same way. You cannot say that. The media is 100%.
Hold on now. Fox News for 4 years has been saying that Biden is like a dementia patient. Meanwhile, he's out there getting a bunch of policy passed.
He acts like that. He acts like when I
Okay, you've literally talk about brainwashing. You've literally like been brainwashed to think that Joe Biden is like a dementia patient or something's wrong with him. And you don't actually like pay attention to anything that he does or his policy. No, you don't.
I watch yes, I do. A lot of it's not even you guys are saying that he has a speech impediment or he stutters, whatever.
Yes.
Like it's not even when he's speaking, he loses his train of thought so freaking badly. And he could
It's just not true. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, he does. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, now you're lying.
No, it's just not. This is actually like incredibly embarrassing. Like, it's just not true. Like, what media do you watch? Where do you get your news?
I literally watch his speeches live. Like, I watch.
Okay, great. What was the last Biden speech you watched? What was the last Biden speech you watched?
I watch CNN. I watch everything just so I can have a whole clear understanding.
I'm sure that's the case. What was the last Biden speech you watched?
The last speech that I watched was when he was speaking in the Oval Office about, like how he's not gonna, run.
And can you point to me in that speech where he lost his train of thought? You said he does it all the time. So can you point to me in that speech where that happened?
He doesn't do it all the time, but he does it a lot. He doesn't do it all the time, but he does it a lot.
Really? So do you have an example of a speech where that happened?
It's not okay. You know what? These things, okay, I'm just going to get down to the most important things. The most important things is, like, in my opinion, is the policies, okay? I don't care about, no. I don't care about Biden's speech impediment. I don't care about his stutter. I don't care about these things. Just like how people are saying that
you obviously do.
Black. No, listen. Just like how people are saying Kamala's, I don't care about these things. I care about the policies. I'm not saying that there are a couple policies that comes to Kamala that I kind of agree with, but more of the policies when it comes to Trump, I agree with. And that's the reason why I'm voting for him.
All right. So can you name me 5 policies that Trump got passed through Congress during his presidency?
One of the policies that I can think of from the top of my head is the, what is that act called again?
Yeah.
No. I'm not. Listen. I'm not thinking about the things from the past. Okay. I'm thinking about the things right now.
Hold on now. You said you agree with his policy. So what policy did he pass through Congress that you like?
I'm talking about the policies now. The policies that if he runs for, if he wins the presidency now, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the things from the past.
Wait, somebody in the chat just pointed out, God, talk about losing your train of thought, huh? No, tell me, like 5 policies that Trump got passed through Congress that you like. You said you care about the policy. I agree. I love policy conversations. I think that's what matters most. Thank you, Cydia, for the galaxy. So tell me, 5 policies that Trump got passed through Congress that you like. Go for it. Now.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember. But all I know is that, under Trump presidency, things were better, okay? We had no wars. The economy was better, okay?
But you can't name the policy that made any of these things happen?
I don't have to go down to the specific about the policies, whatever, you know.
You said but your words are that policy matters most, and I would agree.
My life was better under him. That's it. That's why I'm voting for him.
Wait, but then you also said that you think just like a minute ago that policy is the most important thing, and that's why you're voting for Trump. And then I asked you, okay, what's the policy that Trump implemented?
I'm thinking about the policies right now. That's what I'm thinking about the policies right now. Okay,
yeah, but then are you just totally disregarding? Thank you for the dinosaur. Are you just totally disregarding his first term? Like you're just pretending it never happened?
No, I'm not disregarding it. I'm not disregarding it. What I'm
okay, so let's talk some policy.
I don't care. I even said to you, I don't care about Biden's speech impediment. I don't care about people talking about Kamala's not. But I don't care about these things. Like for example, right? Okay, here's a good example, just so you can understand what I'm saying. So, okay, right now Kamala is running for president and Trump is running for president, right? So I'm talking about the policies right now. I don't really.
Okay, what policies right now?
Okay, so for example, right? Kamala.
Give me five Trump policies right now that you support.
Okay, one of the policies that I support is no taxes on tips. Why are you laughing? This is why.
Sorry, go ahead.
I do not like to talk to Democrats because.
Go ahead. I'm sure. Go ahead. Give me another one.
Okay, if you go, I'm pretty sure you did not go on his website. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm not gonna get down to the specifics and everything like that. But
wait. I'm sorry. You said that you care about the policy now. So I asked you about the policy of the past. You say I don't remember. Okay, fine. I can live with that. But what's the policy now? That's what your entire argument is predicated on. So what's the policy now? No taxes on tips, which we'll talk about that in a second.
No taxes
so what else?
On tips.
Okay.
No taxes on Social Security. Okay. And there's another one, giving the parents I hope I'm saying this correctly. English is not my first language, but I know what I'm trying to say. Having what is that thing called again? Like basically giving the parents a choice to pick their own, to pick for the kids to pick their own school. Like how you live in the county and you have to go to that school, whatever. He doesn't like that. And that whole thing about, schools trying to mandate, teaching all that LGBTQ stuff in there, that I absolutely do not believe in it. Letting boys play in girls' sports, I don't believe in that. What else? Restrictions on abortions, that I could agree with because, some people they use abortions like it's a form of birth control. Like there's no reason. Like
I have no idea. I can't even keep track of what you're saying.
So yeah. These are the things that
all right. So let's. I'll try to address what I remember. No taxes on tips. Why didn't he do it the first time?
I don't know.
The Senate Galaxy. Why didn't he do it for the first? Why didn't he do it? He had the Senate and the House. The first time he was in office for the first 2 years. So if this is like this, thank you for the motorcycle, this revolutionary policy that he really wants, why didn't he do it the first time?
I don't know why he didn't do it the first time.
Because he lies. He lies. He doesn't keep his promises. Donald Trump kept two promises. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Donald Trump kept two promises while in office. Okay. The first one was raising taxes on the middle class and cutting them for the rich. Right? He said, I'm going to cut taxes for the rich. That's what he said going into office. I'm going to have a massive tax cut, the largest tax cut in history. He did that. He gave Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musks of the world, a huge tax cut, and the middle class kind of got screwed over as a result. The second promise he kept was that he wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade and take reproductive rights away from women all across the United States.
We still have those rights, though. So we still have those.
No,
rights.
That's not true. If you're a woman in a Republican state, you have less rights than a woman in a Democratic state. And I don't think that's right. I think women should have rights universally.
That's this whole thing about abortions. They put restrictions on it. And I don't feel like, in my opinion, unless if you were rape, it's, incest or whatever. Okay. But if some people, they will be like, they're 5 months pregnant. Oh, I don't like my baby daddy. I'm going to go having a fucking abortion. No. This should I feel like with them putting restrictions on it, it kind of force people to be responsible. Because once you lay down, you have sex, you already know what's going to happen. It's either
How many kids have you adopted?
What you said? I was not adopted.
How many kids have you adopted?
It's not about, what do you mean how many kids? I have 2 kids.
Oh, I mean, you're forcing all of these women to have kids, and then these kids are put in the foster care system, and then hold on.
Responsible. It's about being responsible.
Okay, get it out. You go ahead, get out the grievances. Go ahead, you got it. You're done? Okay. So you are advocating for women to be forced to have kids. And then in some of these circumstances, they're born into low-income families that aren't able to take care of them. And then they either end up in the foster care system, or they end up on the street, or they just grow up in an area where they don't get a good education. And because you don't get a good education, you're set up for failure, things like that, right? So you're advocating for all of these kids in bad situations to grow up with hard lives instead of just allowing women to make choices that are best for them and their bodies. Now, on the topic of like assault and incest, there are Republican states that don't make exceptions for that. If you pass like the 6-week mark, yeah, sorry, you could be assaulted. You could be a 10-year-old girl who gets assaulted in some of these Republican states. And sorry, you're having that kid. Yeah, you got to carry it to term. A 10-year-old girl, first thing 10-year-old girls to become mothers. You think that's great? That's what Donald Trump stands for. Donald Trump also said that Republican states, he'd be okay with Republican states monitoring women's pregnancies. Monitoring. Are you kidding me? What an infringement of rights. So hold on. You can be pro-life. You can say, I'm uncomfortable with the idea of an abortion. And that's fine. That's what pro-choice is all about, that you get to make choices that are best for you, that if you are uncomfortable with it, you don't have to do it. But there are plenty of people out there who are comfortable with it, and it's the best choice for them and their family, or the best choice for them in that point in their life. So you can be that. Don't force other people to be that. That's all. That's all.
Alrighty, well. So you believe that, okay, all right. So you think that, like somebody is pregnant, right? And it wasn't through incest. It was like, because most pregnancies are not from incest, or they're not from being raped. Let's get that down. Most abortions, most abortions happens in the from black people. That's number one. That's facts. And most abortions happen because the person just wasn't responsible and just decided to have the abortion. So if somebody goes in, they're 5-6 months pregnant, and it wasn't through incest, it wasn't through rape, whatever. What doesn't happen? What doesn't happen?
Yeah, this is like an incredibly rare instance of what you're talking about. Nobody is getting an abortion that wants one at like 5 or 6 months without a medically necessary reason to do so. It is most abortions happen, the overwhelming majority of them happen in the first trimester. Most of them now today happen via pill. Nobody has to go into an OBGYN anymore and have the procedure. If it's within a certain time, they can take a pill and have that be the case. So the very rare circumstances you're talking about of a woman going in at 5, 6 months, 7 months, whatever it might be, to have an abortion. This is a time when that woman and their partner, or that woman independently, has chosen a name for their child. They maybe bought a crib. They maybe hold on now, I'm not done yet. Hold on. They maybe bought a crib. Maybe they designed a room. Maybe they have an idea of how their kid's going to grow up and what they want them to be in life and how they're going to love that kid. But then they get the devastating news that fetus is no longer viable, that it might kill them or hurt their fertility to continue the pregnancy. So they have to make the devastating decision, the terrible decision, to get that abortion when they don't want it, but they have to for their health. That's the instance of what you're talking about in the 5, 6, 7 month area. So, I mean, why are you bringing up these awful scenarios and applying it to the majority?
You're saying, whatever. So what you just said, the Republicans actually agree with that. They actually, if it's not.
No, you don't.
Yes, they do. And
no, you don't.
And Donald Trump said it mad times. He said it a lot of times. If it's not.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. If he would have agreed with it, Roe v. Wade would still be the law of the land. He wouldn't have appointed justices to overturn it. Roe v. Wade allowed for abortions, up until viability, up until around 24 weeks, right? Before that, every state had to have allow it for women, have access to it, and have it not be obstructed. And then after that, there could be restrictions made by that state. Okay, so if Donald Trump actually agreed with that, he wouldn't have tried to overturn Roe v. Wade, but he did and brags about it. He says, "I did it. I'm honored to have done it."
Anyways, I'm still voting for Trump, so.
Okay, you don't care about the sexual assault, the crime, none of that hurts your vote?
I mean, these things don't affect me. I'm not saying that it's right for somebody to sexually assault somebody, but...
Wait, I'm sorry.
Biden is not an innocent. Biden is a whole racist, okay? And he has a history of him being in the Senate, being a whole racist. So if we want to compare about character... If we want to compare about character, whatever, we could
okay.
I'm just looking at policies that can benefit me, and that's it. Like, I'm not saying that, I don't care about somebody being racist, being, you sexual assaulting people. I'm not saying I don't care about these things. But like they keep saying, we got to choose the lesser of the two evils. So I guess I got to go with Trump. If you want to choose Biden, you could choose Biden. If his policies been aligned with your beliefs, then go for it. If it doesn't, then that's it.
Okay. You said a couple of things that stuck out to me. Number one, you said that Trump assaulting a woman doesn't affect you. I mean, that is insane. If you apply that standard to like anything else, you'd be like, wow, I probably wouldn't support that person. If a mass shooter was running for president, maybe that shooting didn't affect you, but that affected a whole lot of people and killed a lot of people. But then using your logic, you'd say, well, I'm voting for policy. I'm going to vote for the mass shooter, right? So it's not great logic to have.
That whole assault thing, maybe I'm not informing it. Who did he insult?
Her name is E. Jean Carroll. She sued him in court in New York and won. She sued him for sexual assault and for defamation. She won that case. Then she sued him for defamation again. Second time, she won again.
Anyways,
Coco
like they
Melon in the
say,
background.
Anyways, like they said, we gotta choose the lesser of the two evils. And when it comes to president, a lot of them are crooked anyways. So I'm choosing, based on policies, okay? Some people.
But you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm choosing.
No, you're not.
Based on my beliefs. Like,
you couldn't cite me modern policy of which you support from Trump. You said no taxes on tips, which he's not going to do. He's lying to buy your vote. That's what it is, right? There's like no actual mechanism to go about doing that. Then you said abortion, and then lied about his abortion position, and you haven't really cited anything else as to why you support him. Thank you, Sedia, for the Galaxy. Appreciate you. Thank you for the Galaxy, Sedia. Appreciate you. Any response or?
Like I said, if you go on his website.
I need to go on his website.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't.
No, I don't need to go on to know who Donald Trump is.
25, and he has nothing to do with that.
Really? Over 140 of his former administration officials and advisors work on Project 2025. Many of his senior advisors wrote the thing. He spoke in 2022 at the Heritage Foundation conference. He was the keynote speaker and talked about the plan that they're laying out for the government.
But
he said he praised it.
That's the people that used to work for him, though. So, and a lot of them don't even fuck with him. So just because they used to work for him,
Peter Navarro, Mark Meadows?
That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, Peter Navarro still very much loves Donald Trump.
That automatically means that you're connected to what they're doing.
Yeah. So if all of your former administration,
fuck with him.
Okay, if all of your former
something that means that Trump is directly connected to it, no.
Okay. If all of your former administration officials are working on it, and it was written by people who used to work for you, who still love you, some of these people spoke at the RNC, and you're speaking at their conference, praising their plan for the next conservative government, which is what Project 2025 is, then I'm sorry, you support Project 2025 and he knows exactly what it is. What? Come on, man. Let's be honest here. He supports all of that stuff.
That's a whole propaganda, and that whole Project 25 would never even come to existence. Let's be
everything you don't like is propaganda,
everything
right?
Is so freaking absurd on there just to fearmonger people and be like, Trump is, do you know Project 25? So that means that you don't vote for him because this country is going to be a dictatorship. Just like when he was running in 2016, everybody was scared when Trump is president, he's going to deport me back to Mexico. We're going to be slaves back in chains, and I'm just like, it's the whole same thing. It's always the same. It's like the same thing from 2016. Literally.
Except he said he wants to be a dictator.
When did he say? He said he wanted to be a dictator. When did Trump say I want to be a dictator?
You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
When did he say that?
Yeah, no, I got you. I'll show you. Yes, he was doing this. When he said that you don't have to. If you vote for me now, you don't have to vote for me later. When he said that? No. Here's an Associated Press article I'm pulling up for you. 1 second. The article headline, quote, Trump's vow to only be a dictator on day one follows growing worry over his authoritarian rhetoric. Except for day one, the GOP frontrunner said Tuesday night before a live audience in Davenport, Iowa, I want to close the border. I want to drill, drill, drill. He said, quote, in reference to Sean Hannity, we love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I say, no, 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 other than day one.
Okay, so, all right, let's just say he said that. Do you think that this country would, like, okay, Trump become president, boom, he's a dictator. Like, do you think that that would ever come to existence? And that's what I mean. Like, certain things he say, I don't agree with, you know? So, like, do you really think that that's like, okay, you know, Trump won, whatever, now it's a dictator, you know, like it's fucking North Korea. Like, do you ever think that that would ever happen?
Not only do I think it would happen, but I don't think we should give him the opportunity to try.
Your followers are rude.
They're not rude, man. Just don't read the chat. I don't think we should give him the opportunity to try.
All right, well.
Do you think we should give him the opportunity to try?
Yes, because I know it would not happen.
All right, bro. Nah. What state are you voting in, if you don't mind me asking?
New Jersey.
Okay, well, don't worry. You're living in a beautiful blue state with two Democratic senators, a Democratic governor, and a Democratic legislator.
You know,
golly, God help us all.
I know he will not win New Jersey, but oh well. You know, we can give it a try.
Yikes, man. You just hope he says, yeah, I want to be a dictator. You're like, why not? Let's see if he can. Jeez Louise, man. Y'all are crazy,
because
man.
I know it would not happen. That's why. That's why.
Yeah. Yo, oh, my man, JW. Yo, JW. that was. She has a delay. Yo, my man, JW, I appreciate you being here, man. That was crazy. Thank you so much, JW. I always appreciate. Can we get some WJWs in the chat? A TikTok universe, man. That's crazy. That was really fun, by the way. And second of all, give me some WJWs in the chat. My man JW is always here supporting. That guy's the real guy. He's the real deal. We love JW. Shout out JW. That's my guy. Say we love JW. Go ahead. Say we love JW. Go ahead. Trump supporters say we love JW.
Who the hell is JW?
Say we love JW.
I'm not saying that.
Say JW. We love you, JW. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Nah, she doesn't want to say it because she doesn't like good people, I guess. Anyway, yeah, you want to let him try and be a dictator? I think that's super weird. I think that's like the antithesis of what we stand for here in America. But you do you. Suck up to the cult leader. Have fun. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, bye. Jeez. All right, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Yo, shout out JW one more time. We love him. What a great guy. Truly fantastic individual. And of course, double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 700,000 likes as well. And we are 79. I couldn't do math for a second. 79 followers away from 600 for the night. So make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. You know the drill by now. And Venmo Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live. Hold on now. Let me just... Norbell, thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. And Karen, thank you for the $7 that just came in right now. I appreciate you on Cash App as well. Brenna, thank you for the $4 saying I like playing MAGA bingo with all your guests because they have all the same talking points. We should, thank you for the fireworks. I appreciate you. We should start playing MAGA bingo. I think that'd be really fun. Katie, thank you for the $50 on Venmo saying love your live. Thank you. Oh my God, Katie, I appreciate you so much. Can we please get some Katie's in the chat? Shout out Katie. We love Katie. Thank you for being here and supporting. Once again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Katie. What an amazing individual you are. Shout out, Katie. We love Katie. Get some WKTs in the chat. I need at least 50 of them. At least. Let's push up 100, I think, WKTs. But, 50 will do. And Clarissa, thank you for the $10 as well, saying beautifully said about abortion. I appreciate that, Clarissa. Thank you for being here. All right, let's put up this guy. Well, can't invite him because the box is full. Terrible. Well, I guess I'm putting up this guy. Didn't mean to invite him, but I guess he's coming up. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, how are you?
Kamala Harris 2020.
Oh, I thought he was going to say a bad word. But I think that was a good guy. So if that gentleman is still here, shout out you. I like you. I That was good. I'm a fan of that. Sorry. I thought you were going to say something, better safe than sorry, I suppose. But shout out that guy. That guy was nice. Anyway, all right, let's try to bring up this guy. Let's try to bring up Kyle. Let me, again, drop some. Oh, all right. I'll bring up this person.
How you doing, Harry?
How old are you?
I'm 35.
All right. Are you MAGA?
No. I was just going to say I like what you do, bro. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. You're fantastic. I appreciate it. You have a good rest of your night, all right?
You too.
Oh, shout out King. Shout out King. Good folks here. We got some good folks here. I got some good folks here in the live. Some amazing folks. Some amazing folks. All right. Where is John S for Trump? That's the guy's name is literally John S for Trump. He's like running a Trump campaign account here. Let's see what he got. Hello, John. Are you MAGA?
Oh yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
You're all right. All right. Why you MAGA, buddy?
Let's just say that I'm not in a good mood with the policies that this administration has been implementing. And I don't think that we need to be paying all this money for Ukraine to go to war that they can't win. I know you think they can win this war, but they can't. It's just a prolonged war that we're paying for until the end of time.
Foreign policy expert, I see, huh?
Yeah, because I do actually understand. I read a book every once in a while, so I know what this war is all about. And kind of notice how you got a real war going on in Israel, and you see photos of bombs and everything being blown up. Yet you go look at Ukraine. There's nothing going on over there. They're having parties. They're having a good time. Zelensky's wife is flying over. His ship is sailing around on her yachts. It's all we do. It's a piggy bank for us. Here's a picture. Here's a picture from Ukraine.
Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. Here's a picture from Ukraine. I'm not sure where you're not seeing war photos from Ukraine. I don't know where you're getting.
Putin is going around because all he wants is ports back, and the reson why this war has started is because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden started.
And here's an apartment building in Kiev, the capital, where it was struck.
Yeah.
Here's another building in Kiev that was struck in Center City. Here's another apartment building that was struck in Kiev.
Do you actually know why this war is going on?
Here's another Center City of Kiev. Here's another building in Kiev struck.
Do you want to answer me? Do you know why
Here's another building in Kiev struck. So
I know you got a lot of photos.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Do you know why the war is going on?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, your argument that we don't have any photos over there shows me that you actually have no idea what you're talking about, right? You obviously don't keep up with this war on a day-to-day basis, because we are getting some really terrific and heartbreaking photos out of Ukraine all of the time. There are photojournalists and journalists generally stationed in Ukraine who are covering this war. So I think you need to read more about this, as opposed to selecting the conflicts you read about and then using ignorance as an excuse to say, well, there's not actually a war going on over there because I haven't seen photos. It's like there are plenty of photos out there. Just go read. We know what this war is about. Putin wants power. He wants resources. He wants land. He wants access to ports. He wants more trade routes and things like that.
You said it. He wants his ports that he owns.
He does not own those ports.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Those ports go through on the outskirts of Russia. The only reason why he can't get the oil from Germany to Russia is because Zelensky is holding him hostage for his ports.
It's because Germany is no longer trading for oil with Russia. Germany and Russia are no longer engaging in oil trade.
You actually believe that?
That is what Germany says.
Spend what's called an extra. All this money on extra money to get oil. Come on, you're ignorant. You believe that?
They are. Actually, there's been plenty of articles as to how Germany and other European countries who trade with Russia for oil previously are now substituting that. It's coming from a lot of different places. It's coming from a lot of different countries now. There's more reliance on Middle East and things like that. And they're also drilling in their own countries and even investing in renewable energy to make up for those things. So that's actually happening. Again, just a complete show of ignorance on your part. But Putin does not own those ports. Those ports are owned by the Ukrainian people, because then if you think that, then I guess you'd say that you think all of the American ports are owned by Native Americans, right? Or the first people they were here, right?
Listen, I never said that we haven't pillaged the Native Americans. I mean, I never said that.
I'm not asking whether we have or haven't, but then under your view, you think that Native Americans own all of the ports in the United States and that we, the United States, should just cede control of our ports to them, right?
No, I'm just saying that there's a reason why we give Native Americans land and let them do whatever they want. They could sell cigarettes at the cheapest price. They can do whatever they want. We leave them alone in certain things because we have been very bad.
Wait. But even if we leave them alone, I'm not asking what we do to support Native Americans. I'm asking, in your view, then the Native American JW, I appreciate you so much for the Rose Nebula, buddy. You're a go. You're always here, buddy. I appreciate you. Then under your view, those ports are owned by them.
Yes.
So we, the United States, should give up those ports.
Even the United States. We're not talking about the United States here. We're talking about Russia. We can
I'm testing your logic.
We can go into domestic policy if you want. But let's go into foreign policy first. That the moron right now doesn't have any clue about.
Yeah, we'll get there, number one. But number two, I'm testing your logic. So I'm using an American example, an example that's more personal to you, so you can see how stupid your argument is. Okay. So with Ukraine, you feel very high and mighty to say, well, it's Putin's ports. He deserves those ports. But when it comes to you in the United States, I'm sure you would have much objection to somebody trying to break into your house claiming, well, it's my land because I own this land first, right? I'm sure if somebody tried to take back your house and keep that land, you'd be upset with that, right?
Again, sure. You want to say fine. Yeah.
Okay. So the Ukrainian people are upset that Putin is trying to take land that isn't his, ports that aren't his, and resources that aren't his. And by doing that, he's killing a bunch of innocent people. So I think that we should stand with those people who are allies of ours and apply our own logic to them as well.
Do you realize what's called that if the oil that Putin has got, because remember, Biden greenlit that pipeline. You're going to disagree with that? Biden greenlit the pipeline. Are you going to disagree with me on that one? Trump put a halt on it. Biden let it go.
The reason he let it go was to improve relations with Germany. They were advocating. With the United States has always said we're against it, we're against it, we're against it.
Okay.
But then Germany's like, we really want it, we really want it. And since our relationship with Germany was so damaged by the end of Trump's term, Biden said, well, we can compromise on this. Let's try to get back on track. We disagree with it. Good night, JW. I appreciate you being here again, man. I appreciate you so much. We disagree with it, but we'll allow you to go forward because, again, we can't really control what Germany does and doesn't do. So,
okay, so you're agreeing with that. So when that pipeline was then greenlit, then all Putin wanted to do was be able to get into his port and then transport the oil from the ports to Russia. So if Zelensky would have just let him take the oil from the ports that Joe Biden greenlit, this war never starts. But Zelensky knew that he could try to use it as a bargaining chip to Putin to say, oh, you got to come through Ukraine to get your oil now. And Putin said no. And what did Zelensky do? He said, I knew I had the backing of the United States to fight this war. And that's the problem.
What? Okay. What you're talking about Nord Stream 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That we ended up blowing up for them, but
we did not blow up the port.
Well, there's a lot of talks who did it, but someone did it. We'll figure out who did it later.
So here's a map of Nord Stream 2.
Yeah.
Where's the interference from Ukraine on this map?
You're showing me a map of what's it called? I can't see the remainder of it because you're going through Germany into.
So you're right. So Germany, Nord Stream 2, had the pipeline from them to Russia. Yeah. And you're saying that Ukraine was interfering with that pipeline, except Ukraine is all the way down here.
Ukraine to get to the port.
Ukraine is not even on the map.
I know the map you're looking at, but you're not realizing that it goes through the ports in Ukraine. It has to get through Ukraine to get to Russia.
We're gonna have a geography lesson right here. Ready? I'm gonna look up an Eastern Europe map and I'll show you where Ukraine is. And I would love for you to point out to me how Nord Stream 2 has to go through Ukraine. Okay. Yeah. Sound good to you?
Yeah. How does it get to Russia without getting into land first? That's what I want to know.
Okay. So here's a map of Eastern Europe.
Yeah, right? I know. The map. Yes.
Okay. And we could, pretend in our minds that, Germany, that's all the way over here in that kind of grayish, and that Nord Stream pipeline, just pretend it exists in this map. Okay.
Yeah.
Ukraine is right there. So how is Ukraine blocking a pipe? They're this country right here, the green. How is Ukraine blocking a port, a pipeline that's up here and goes all the way down here? There's no point in which Ukraine is involved in this pipeline.
You do realize that there was multiple lines, right? There's multiple lines.
Wait, I'm sorry. And where was the other line? Go ahead.
Did you actually see the one that was blown up? Right, there was multiple lines that went out, and they blew it up.
Yo, JW, thank you for the Leon, man. Shout out JW. Can we get some more JW in the chat, please? We appreciate this. This guy's crazy. This guy's going insane.
I'm not
so
going
please point
insane.
to me where the other pipeline is on this map.
Yes, I understand what you're talking about, but the problem was that to get to where Putin has to get to the ports to get to it, he has to go through the ports, and that's all he ever wanted was the ports, so he can get his oil into the ports. You do understand that the stuff comes to a spot.
What are you talking about? What port are you talking about on this map?
You know how the pipeline actually works. So when you have a pipeline going into a certain country, you can mock me all you want. You don't have any clue about oil.
I'm asking you what ports are you talking about on this map? What ports?
It gets. You know that it's called that oil comes into where the pipeline ends, and then it gets barged to different areas, right? You know that, right? It gets on big container ships, and then it gets barged over to certain areas. You do understand
that, I'm gonna ask again. What ports on this map was Ukraine interfering with that made this war start?
It's on the outskirts of Ukraine by the Black Sea.
Okay, so where exactly in Ukraine? Like, just give me general area. Like, you know,
how am I going to point on a general area?
You can speak vaguely. You can speak vaguely. Like, is it in the middle of that border? Is it closer to the left? Or is it closer to the right? Like, what port?
It's in the middle of the Black Sea of Ukraine, where the freaking where you got.
So maybe like right here.
Yeah, somewhere right there. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
So then, you're telling me that this port that is owned by Ukraine, right? Thank you, JW, for the well diving. Putin was mad that Ukraine owned that port?
Well, that was the only way that Putin could get in to get the oil off and transport it. That's the problem.
That is absolutely not the case at all. The pipeline. I just think it's crazy.
Now.
You think that a pipeline that is up here in Northern Europe, going to Germany, is somehow affected by a country that's down here? This is utter nonsense. I just don't think you knew. It's also not an oil pipeline. Thank you, the law of the wild. It's not an oil pipeline. I just think it's. Oh my God! It's actually insane. It's actually insane that you think a country. Oh my God! You just need to learn some like basic European geography.
No, because you don't understand how a pipeline works and how freaking
a pipeline that's north of Germany. Apparently is now being interfered with by Ukraine, which is below Belarus.
Okay, so let's talk about the pipeline in the United States, just so I can give you a little theory on how this works. So the pipeline runs from Canada down all the way through to basically Texas. It goes through Oklahoma and it gets to Texas. So your oil gets to from one end of from one part of basically the Atlantic Ocean all the way down to the Pacific Ocean. And the reason why you do this is then you can get barges from ports to bring them around to where you need to get them to. That's how they come in. Do you know how it works in New York? How the oil gets to, let's say, you got the port in Elizabeth, in New Jersey, that's where the one major oil company is. You got the other one that comes down into Queens, Brooklyn. I'm sorry, and then you got the other one up in in the Rockaways. Those are the three main terminals to get your gasoline around. How do you think they get to the main terminals? You think they get there by truck? No, they get there by barge. Barges take them in. The oil comes in, they extract it, and they make it into gas. That's how this works. So when I'm saying that if Zelensky would have just let Putin get to the ports so he could have got the stuff off the barges and brought back into Russia, this war never happens. That's how this works. But I guarantee you don't know that, because the fact is you don't really know how the oil industry works. You don't know how the gas industry works. You think that
I know they say like never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, but I think you're being so dumb that I actually have to interrupt you. So you're telling me, let's just go back. Let's just reference the map. Let's just reference the map one more time.
Okay.
Right? So, would you agree that right by Ukraine, like right there, is part of Russia, right?
Hmm.
So you're telling me that this entire war is because of a port that is apparently owned by Russia that exists in the middle of Ukraine on their border on the Black Sea. And they went to war over that port when there's other ports along Russia.
Yeah. They could have picked anyone.
That is
They
the
picked
dumbest
Ukraine.
thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I think you need to go back to like 5th grade geography. I don't know who taught you geography. That for somehow the Nord Stream pipeline, which is way above Ukraine, near Latvia and Lithuania, but that somehow Ukraine is impacting that. The oil's domestic. I don't know what you're talking about. They're shipping the oil into the Black Sea, and then Russia's bringing it over to the Nord Stream pipeline to get it to Germany. I don't know what fantasy land you're living in. That is utter nonsense. By the way, while you were talking and I was kind of listening to it, I was multitasking. I looked up articles on this just to see maybe if you misconstrued what you were talking about, or maybe I was wrong. There's not a single article or any piece of evidence that backs up anything you're saying, because number one, it's nonsensical, but number two, it doesn't exist.
You don't get many articles. What are you reading? ABC News or whatever? I mean, what, you're not going to look at like...
Yeah, no, apparently, no, for sure. Apparently, there's just this very obvious start to a major conflict in a continent of which allies are involved of ours, but there's no journalist decides to cover it. It's not just because you're wrong. It's not because there's no journalist covering it because it's not an existent issue. It's because that there's just not a lot of articles on it. Sure, no, that makes sense. That's the most logical conclusion.
How come Russia is fighting this battle on the outskirts of Ukraine? Not going through Ukraine, going through the outskirts. Because they actually are trying to limit casualties in this war. But I know you think that they're not, but they actually are trying to. And I'm not here trying to tell you that.
All right, we got a Putin apologist, everybody. This guy loves Putin.
No, I'm not saying Putin's a good guy. I'm just saying that that Putin is doing what he wants to do.
Really? So let me ask you this. Was Putin minimizing civilian casualties when he bombed a school, a hospital, a church, anything like that? Was that minimizing civilian casualties? What about when he sent some cruise missiles right through apartment buildings? Is that minimizing civilian casualty? I'm sure there's a lot of military combatants sleeping in those apartment buildings in the middle of the night, right? I understand that
this is a war, and I guess you're not, you think that, war is supposed to be fought with cell phones, but it's a war.
No. You said that he was minimizing civilian casualties. Man, it's crazy how many of you
think that if Vladimir Putin wanted to end Ukraine's existence, that he couldn't do it and it would be done already? If he
I'm sure that Putin could launch a bunch of nukes and then end Ukraine's existence, but that would be an awful idea for Russia. He doesn't need a bunch of nukes.
He could literally go in there and do whatever he wants because he's got the biggest army on the planet, and he could go in there and basically do whatever he wants.
He does not have the biggest army on the planet.
One of the top three. I'm sorry. It's my apologies.
And Russia has a pretty, historically not that efficient of a military. Would cite World War II, where they were just like basically throwing people into a meat grinder. They were just like, get out there, and then just
Oh, we're gonna go back to World War II now. You want to go back to the? I'm
just giving you like Russian military history.
The history of Russia in World War II.
Well, apparently you think Ukraine is next to Latvia, so I don't think you do.
No, but I also think that that Ukraine, if they didn't have all the money that we've shipped them and all the weapons we've shipped them, then this wouldn't even be going on.
Exactly. You're right. It wouldn't be going on because Russia would have taken all of Ukraine by now.
And again, why is that our problem?
Oh, see? Okay, here we go. This is a much more interesting conversation than whatever you're coming up with. Why is it our problem?
Yeah.
Ukraine's our ally, right? We're allies with Ukraine. There's a bunch of reasons why this is a problem. We don't want to lose an ally. They trade a lot of grain in Europe, and they have a lot of strategic ports, and having an ally along this specific area, certainly near Russia, is good for the United States. Also, Russia's an enemy. We don't want Russia getting stronger. The idea that the United States can see an enemy getting stronger by invading an ally of ours and just sitting back and doing nothing is nonsense. And I don't think we, the United States, should set the precedent that these bigger, stronger countries can bully our smaller allies and that the United States won't do anything about it. Because then China's emboldened to go after Taiwan, Russia's emboldened to go after Ukraine and continue their efforts, and other countries that we may not align with, Iran is emboldened to go after our allies in the Middle East. So that's a really bad precedent to set.
They're already doing it.
But if you're a Putin fan, you would love for Russia to take Ukraine.
No, actually, I would just like for us to go with some sensible, actual theories on how
to talk to your buddy Putin.
Stop this war. It would be nice. I mean, not for nothing, but we keep giving all this money to Ukraine. I know you like to always say, we're not giving them money, we're giving them weapons. But actually what we're doing is we're funneling them money and then they're in turn buying weapons from us. So it's like we're actually giving them billions upon billions of dollars than to buy billions upon billions of dollars from us. So it's like we're doing double. We're giving them money to buy the weapons back from us. I mean, that's how it works.
No. That is not how that works. Oh my God, that's not how that works at all. We're not. What? I can't. You're genuinely like. I don't think I've had a conversation where I've been more shocked with what I've heard, because this is a new level of misunderstanding. So that's not at all what's happening. We are not sending them monies and then they buy weapons from us and then we ship the weapons over. Why? If we wanted to do this in an efficient way, why would we send them money and then ship them the equipment when we could just ship them the equipment?
Because it's actually how they fund packages in Congress. They fund the money through Congress, they funnel it into them, and then they in turn return it back to us. This is how Congress works.
That's not how Congress works.
It's legitimately raped by our government.
Whoa! Don't say that.
I'm sorry. So I got to go back to the other guy's thing, graped. So it makes sense.
I just don't think that's an appropriate word to use in that instance.
Okay, we are getting.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. It's a stupid way to say.
We're getting taken
no,
to the
we're
cleaners
not.
by
I
this
actually cannot. No. That's not at all what's happening. That's not at all how Congress operates at all. And also, I forgot to mention the Budapest Memorandum, an agreement with Ukraine back in the 1990s, where we said that, hey, if you give up your nuclear weapons,
forever, right? The Budapest Memorandum just lasts forever. It lasts until we decide it doesn't, because
our word
only
matters.
lasted 10 years. Then we just upped it again.
We should keep our word. We should keep our word. If we give a country
plan, and then it's still now it's another 10 years, and then it goes another 10 years.
If we give a country
keep re-upping these bills in Congress that they pass that we never get to see, because they pass like 400-page appropriation bills.
Read it, buddy. Read it.
I understand it. It was a 10-year plan that was all it was supposed to be, and then they upped it again, then they upped it again, and they upped it again. That's what they keep doing.
Okay, so we have a Budapest Memorandum. We gave Ukraine, it's still valid. We gave Ukraine our word that we will protect them in the event of an attack on their safety by Russia if they gave up their nuclear weapons. Can you listen for 5 seconds? If we gave up their nuclear weapons, we would protect. If they gave up their nuclear weapons, we would protect them. That's the agreement of the Budapest Memorandum. Now, there's two things here. Number one, we, the United States, should live up to our word. If we give a country our word, we should live up to it, because then it loses our legitimacy. Then countries can't trust us and make deals with us. And then number two, if we want a country to denuclearize, which is definitely a good thing, then we should also keep our word, because then if a country that it's denuclearizing sees that we don't live up to our agreements, we just get them to denuclearize, and then we like stab them in the back. That country is not going to want to deal with us. So keeping our word, allowing our allies to remain, is pretty imperative. This is why the CIA, the FBI, and any intelligence agency we have in the United States is of the view that Ukraine's success is imperative, because there's a lot of reasons, not only for intelligence gathering reasons, not only for peace in Eastern Europe, but for American safety, for our standing in the world, and all of these other variety of reasons. But for some reason, you see it so two-dimensional. You say, oh, we send money don't go to us, that's bad.
Do you not see how we are literally giving Ukraine $40-50 billion in weapons, or however you want to look at it? Yet our education department is literally getting slaughtered. We have to take money out, appropriation. We have to appropriate money that we can't give to things domestically to them. So our schools are failing because we got to pay for them. Our infrastructure.
Let's give every school a $900,000 taxpayer-funded missile. That's a good idea. So all these missiles sitting on our reserves that we're sending to Ukraine, let's just give every school a $900,000 taxpayer-funded missile. That'll solve their problems. Just put it in a classroom. That'll solve it. That'll make it way better.
There are many other countries that would buy our weapons for us that we literally choose not to do business with because of politics.
We do arms deals all the time. There have been plenty of arms deals with people who are controversial. Like Saudi Arabia, we've had arms deals with in the past 8 years.
Explain to me how our schools are failing, like I said, infrastructure is failing. Our internet service sucks. Everything that we have stinks. Our airports look like they were built back in the 1960s. Nothing changes, but yet we still keep giving money to other countries. We never give the money into our country. Explain that to me.
I will. Number one, these roads you're talking about, these airports, improved and funded to be better under Biden's infrastructure law. Biden got an infrastructure law passed and invested in all of these things. Internet as well, expanding broadband access is part of this bill. Biden got all of these things done in a bill. Donald Trump talked about infrastructure for 4 years, never got a bill done. He tried. He put forward an infrastructure bill, couldn't get people to agree because he sucks at what he does. He's not good at being a president. He's not good at business. So he couldn't make a deal, couldn't get it done. So all these things that you're upset about, if you care about these things,
that's why we couldn't get anything done.
No, yeah, because Trump's a loser. I agree.
No,
All
Paul
these
Ryan
things that
was
you're
the
upset
loser.
about,
Trump
that
tried
there's
to get a lot
funding
of
for
things done, but
schools,
didn't get
for
done. You know,
Wi-Fi,
Trump
for
got more
airports,
things done
you should be
when the
supporting Joe
Republicans got
Biden because Joe Biden got the funding necessary to make these things better. It's something that you're complaining about. And education. Maybe you shouldn't vote for the guy whose Project 2025 plan calls for the elimination of the Department of Education. Maybe.
That's a good thing. Let it go back to the states where it belongs, just like everything else. Let the states decide. If the states controlled our education department, this country would be better. But we can't have the federal government running our lives. Federal government ruins everything, and you know it, but you can't admit to it because you're a Democrat. You have to actually believe the nonsense you spew.
Listen, I don't think that you Republicans need less education. I don't think you need that. I think you need more education. That's why the Department of Education is a good thing. They do a good job.
I believe in school
crap.
choice. I believe in school choice, which is what
Of course you do. Of course you believe in defunding public schools. You can't be upset. You can't be upset.
You were mocking that girl with your facial expressions. Because
yeah, I was. You know why? Because you can't be
out.
upset at schools being underfunded and then also be in favor of school choice. Because the natural conclusion of school choice is public schools being underfunded.
I just feel to roll your eyes and you act like a big boy.
Feels good.
That girl.
Feels real good.
It really
great.
does. I'm glad
it
you
feels
do.
great to roll my eyes at people that don't understand basic Eastern European geography. That feels great.
You can roll your eyes at me.
You don't know where Ukraine is on a map, you can't point to it. Oh, God help us all.
You just what's called? You like to roll your eyes against girls. Every time I watch you talk against a girl that's a Republican that tries to bait you, you roll your eyes. You think you're more.
I roll my eyes at everybody that are people like you. I roll my eyes at everybody.
To people, and you think you're inferior to women because you hate women. You're a loser.
Oh,
that's
yeah. Me. No, for sure. Wait, hold on now. I just find it so ironic. I find it the projection is remarkable here, claiming that Democrats or myself hate women. You're voting for a guy who took reproductive rights away from millions of women and brags about it. There have been 65,000 assault-related pregnancies in 14 Republican states. Hold on, no, I'm not done yet. Now I'm actually going to mute you because you're saying something so stupid. There have been over 65,000 assault-related pregnancies in 14 Republican states. Those women have either had to have that fetus and to give birth to that child and carry it to term, or they had to go out of state and spend thousands of dollars to get that procedure. Your guy that you're voting for bragged about assaulting a woman on audio, saying, "I don't even wait, I just do it. I'm a celebrity. I can do it. I don't even wait." He was found liable for assaulting a woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll. Wouldn't give his DNA over for testing because he knew he did it. So please spare me the projection here, buddy. Spare me of the Democrats or myself hate women. No. Nobody hates anybody for their identity on the Democratic side. We just don't like people like you who are uninformed and then vote for uninformed people. So spare me the fake outrage, buddy. And how about you go stand with women and vote for the girl, Kamala Harris, who wants to give them the reproductive rights back. And then you can come talk to me. Capiche? Sounds good.
Actually, I will sit here and say I would much rather have it with the states because I don't think the federal government belongs.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. Don't talk to me about hating women, buddy. You hate women. How do you feel about these 10-year-old girls in like Ohio that are getting assaulted and being forced to give birth because it's up to the states now because of Donald Trump?
I think it's absolutely disgusting.
Oh, okay. So maybe let's not do that. Maybe let's have federal protection for it, huh?
We'll allow it to go through. Then people get to vote on this. What is so wrong with American people getting to vote on this?
No. Because if there's a state of 500,000 people. No, let's just say it's 100,000 people. There's a state of 100,000 people. I don't think that 50,001 people should deprive the 49,999 people who might want reproductive care of their healthcare choices. I don't think that makes sense. I think we should have federal protection for reproductive rights.
You guys preach.
Hold on now.
You guys preach democracy, but then when they actually do something that's actually democracy and actually about how it works,
do you think? Let's use the same example. Do you think that a state of 100,000 people and 50,001 people should be able to deprive 49,999 other people of their civil rights?
If that's the way the vote comes down, then yes. Then yes. That's what being a democracy is all about.
What if a state? What if a state? Hold on.
Go live in France.
What if a state?
Where they don't allow this
What if a
shit.
state? What if a state had a ballot measure to bring back slavery, and there's 49,999 black people in that state, and there's 50,001 white people who really want slavery back, but the 49,999 black people don't want it back. If that 50,001 people voted for slavery to come back, you'd say, yeah, well, they voted for it. Does that make sense to you?
Unrealistic because it's a constitutional amendment you have to have.
Exactly. We're testing logic right now. My God, playing to a hypothetical for one.
It's just impossible because you have to have a constitutional amendment to do that.
You test logic via, okay, let's just say a constitutional amendment passed.
That would be
Let's just
great.
say rogue government. Rogue government came in.
I'm hoping we're a lot further than that right now. But whatever.
Well, I would hope so too. But just to play in, just for your small mind, to allow this hypothetical to be possible in your mind, I have to make all these different adjustments.
Now you're going to make me answer the hypothetical, unlikely question.
You're exact. That's what a hypothetical is. It tests logic, the logic of your argument. So answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. The question is clear. You don't have to try to dodge it. The question is clear. Answer the question. If 50,001 white people voted in favor to enslave 49,999 black people, would you think that that's fair in a state?
I'm not answering that question because it's a gotcha.
Yeah, why not? Why won't you answer it? Why not?
No, I can't answer because it makes me look like a fucking racist if I answer it the way what you want me to say.
Well,
that's the problem.
There's a very obvious answer to this question.
Yeah, and I'm not going to answer it because I'm not a racist. And the fact is that you're trying to put me in that.
Okay, if you're not a racist, say no. Say no.
Because then I can't. Because then I lose my argument with the other one. That's the problem.
Exactly. It's kind of a tough spot to be in, isn't it?
You just put me into an impossible situation I can't freaking talk about. But we're talking about you need a constitutional amendment.
Wait. Maybe if you're put into impossible situations as a result of your argument when I'm testing the exact logic you put forward, maybe your argument's just not good.
No, my argument is very good. The problem is that you want
answer
me to
the
say
question.
something that makes you know the answer? You want the answer? Because I don't really give a shit what people think about me. The truth of the matter is that if they somehow came up with a constitutional amendment to put slavery back into effect, and then you put it on a ballot measure, and there was 100,000 people in this state, and 50,001 people were ignorant enough to vote for it because we've come so far in the country, then yes, it should be allowed.
Wow, man.
There you go.
Wow.
You want me to answer the question? I answered it the best way I could.
Wow.
But I am not racist.
There you have it, folks. There you have it, folks.
But
wow.
Here's the thing, though. You can ask that person.
Wait. Here's the thing. Get the hell out of my live and don't come back. How about that action? Wow. Wow. How about that? Here's the thing. How about that? How about you get the hell out of my live and don't come back? How about that action? How about some of that? Wow. So, in that conversation, we learned that he doesn't know where Ukraine is. Like, genuinely has no concept of geography, and also would be okay, would think it should be legal for a state to bring back slavery. I don't. God, all right. We are 27 followers away from 900 for the night, so make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. We speak to people like that, unfortunately, all the time. It's not fun, to be honest. Make sure to keep double tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 1.2 million likes. Yeah, so just as a reminder, everybody, that guy is going to be voting this November, right? He's going to be voting this November. So remember to make sure that you get out there and vote, because his vote matters as much as yours. So don't let that guy dictate you and your life, because he'll get out there and vote. Will you? Go to vote.org, everybody, and you can register to vote or check your voter registration status. I would highly recommend it. Felicia, thank you for the $47 on Venmo, saying you are fantastic. Thank you for educating your listeners and for standing up for democracy. Go Blue! Felicia, can we get some W Felicias in the chat? Can we please get at least 47 W Felicias in the chat, please? What an amazing individual. And also Go Blue. Not Michigan University, not those Blue. We rock with Penn State. But Go Blue in the sense of Democrats. I like it. Kimberly, thank you for the $20 as well. I don't even know why I went on that tirade. Thank you for the $20 as well, Kimberly. I appreciate you so much. Saying love what you're doing. I appreciate you. Shout out, Kimberly. And Honor, thank you for the $15 as well, saying this awful conversation. It was pretty bad. I can't even lie, Honor. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Leah, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you. Patrick, thank you for the $20, saying we know who hates women and it isn't you or the Dems. Yeah, exactly. That guy. I mean, Jalen, thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. Nira, thank you for the $10 as well, saying, Harry, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, Nira. I appreciate you. RM, thank you for the $25. I appreciate you on Cash App as well. Michelle, thank you for the $7, saying, thanks for all that you do. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for being here. Desta, thank you for the $5. And Karen, thank you for the $7 as well. Look at all the amazing W Felicias in the chat. I like it. Yeah, so Venmo, Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live. All All right. Have I talked to this guy? Let's see if I've talked to this guy. Okay, can't invite him up because people. Hold on, sorry, one sec. Let me trying to clear the box a little bit. It's not working. I'm doing it unsuccessfully. I can't invite Camden up, man. I'm trying to invite this guy Camden up. He has Trump as his profile picture, but there are too many people requesting up. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Bring me up. Can't. Been requesting. Okay, we'll try to bring this guy up. Here we go. There we go. We got a debate. Wow, we're now 28 followers away from 1,000 for the night. You guys are going crazy, so make sure to up a follow if you haven't already. All right, man. Hello?
Yo, what's up?
All right, why you MAGA? Thank you, Henry, for the subscription. Appreciate you.
Why am I MAGA?
Yeah, that's the question I asked.
It's probably just where I grew up at in Louisiana.
Okay. So do you actually agree with him on policy, or are you just... What's the word?
I'm not really like a big policy guy and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, like whenever I'm more of like in the working class, so
you in a
I
union?
work more. No, I'm not in the union, but I work in plants and stuff. But I work more through red than I do through blue.
I don't know what that means. I don't know, like
the only reason why I even requested to get up here, I ain't trying to debate you or nothing. I just got a question.
Okay.
So,
yeah, sure.
do you support the military?
Of course.
So explain to me how J.D. Vance was in the military, and then Kamala says that J.D. Vance is only loyal to Trump, and he's not going to be loyal to the country. Whenever
I think we'd have to get her exact quote. Yeah, I think we'd have to get her exact quote. But I also think that's the truth. I also think that's the truth.
Yeah, but that was the quote. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you know all the details of everything else. Like, there's no, like, she said it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, that, well, I mean, again, I would prefer her exact quote.
Well, no, I'm not saying.
No, JD Vance is obviously 100% only going to be loyal to Trump. Right?
But I'm not saying that
to the United States.
All your details are correct. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
I'm going to believe you did.
Of course.
So that's what she's talking about.
But,
JD Vance is obviously only going to be loyal to Trump. Yeah, absolutely. Carrie, I invite you up, by the way. Why don't you come up?
How is that only being loyal to Trump whenever he served for this country?
Because it's the policy, right? So he served absolutely at one point, and we're all thankful for that service. But it's the policy that he wants to put forward, like Trump's a felon, a sexual abuser, a business fraudster, is very authoritarian in his language, and JD Vance doesn't condemn any of that. He just buys into it. Trump says that the election was stolen when it obviously wasn't. JD Vance doesn't question it. He buys into it. He doesn't push back on Donald Trump's lies. It's like, if you have somebody who's objectively hurting the United States with his lies, and you are not standing up to those lies as a person in a position of power, then you're not loyal to the country. You're loyal to that person.
I don't see it the same way. I don't agree.
Okay, but I would love to see where JD Vance has stood up for what's right when it comes to Donald Trump, because I'm sure I think we'd both agree that assault is wrong. I'm sure we both agree that committing crimes is wrong. I'm sure we both agree that committing business fraud is wrong. I'm sure we both agree that saying you want to be a dictator is wrong. I'm sure we both agree that saying you want to terminate the Constitution is wrong. JD Vance hasn't called out Donald Trump for any of that stuff. So I'm waiting for that moment where he does. He shows some loyalty to the country.
All right, so what's your views on teachers coming out and trying to teach kids about the LGBT stuff?
Man, golly. So I think that like teaching people in school about the realities of the world is a good thing.
So you think it's okay for, if a teacher is that way or whatever, it's fine for them to teach kids that it's okay to be this way or whatever, to take it out of the parents' hands?
Yeah, if a teacher is, that way, okay. If a teacher's like gay, for example, I have no problem with that teacher teaching kids, and I have no problem with that teacher saying like, "Hey, being gay is okay."
I never said that.
Okay.
I never once said that. I asked if.
What do you mean by that way? By the way, what do you mean by that?
I don't even know what I said. What did I say?
You said if they are that way. What do you mean by what's that way?
The LGBTQ, whatever. I just.
And you asked if they are that way.
This way, that way. There is no this way, that way. I'm saying.
You said that way.
You say a lot of stuff too, pal.
Sure. Yes. Everybody says a lot of things, but not like that. What?
You literally just gave the last guy an ultimatum of.
Oh no.
Choosing slavery and non-slavery.
Yeah. You're right.
Yes. So
I was testing his logic, and he chose slavery.
So, if Trump beats Kamala by 1 vote, is that fair? Y'all going to let that slide or no? Because that's the same thing you just told him.
No, we were talking about a deprivation of civil rights.
Okay, so if Trump wins by 1 vote, are y'all going to let it go or no?
Yes.
Okay.
If Trump wins by a vote, then he wins.
Okay, well, back to what I was saying. Do you think it's okay for teachers to take it out of the parents' hands to teach kids about the LGBT community and stuff?
Yeah, I have no problem with the LGBTQ plus community and its existence.
And I don't either.
Being taught in school. Like if a teacher's like, yeah, so let's talk about the history of the LGBTQ plus community in American history and how they've been discriminated against, segregated in certain social settings and things like that.
I'm not talking about high school. I'm talking about elementary here.
Yeah, I think that like for really young kids, I don't think that should be something that's taught in the classroom. For like a kid that's like in kindergarten, but that's also not happening. Nobody in kindergarten is being taught about the LGBTQ plus community.
I've seen plenty of new teachers going into 1st grade, 2nd grade, and yes, I have.
Nope, that's not a thing. You can completely lie to. Republicans love to go around and tell you, oh, these teachers, they're teaching your little kid about, all these people. It's not a thing. No,
this was not a Republican, pal.
It's not a. I'm telling you, this is not a thing.
Okay,
these curriculums that we talk about are approved by school boards, and it's not in any of these curriculums.
I'm gonna find the videos and I'm gonna send them all to you.
Do it.
And maybe I can
get me some actual articles to accompany them, will you?
This is a teacher that got hired.
Yeah, get me some articles. I don't need a video can be incredibly deceiving.
Oh, really? Isn't that what y'all go off of a lot of the time?
I think we have a variety of sources to back up what we argue.
So if Trump was to put out a video of something, y'all use that.
The key word I said is video
like you just said? Yeah, but like you just said.
So the the word I said very specifically is videos can be deceiving.
Right, but you don't want me to give you a video of a teacher saying that.
In some videos, no.
But if it was Trump doing the same thing,
I don't even
want an article instead of using the video?
I really don't think you're making a good argument right here. I'm saying that when you said, I'll send you a video, I said, be careful. I would prefer an article as well that accompanies that videos because videos can be deceiving. If Trump puts out a video of him saying something, you don't need an article to accompany it. But that's why I said can be deceiving. In some instances, videos do not tell you the full story and there's more context. In some instances, they do. But this also isn't happening in elementary school. It's not a thing.
Okay.
Glad we got past that.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. Dude. Misty, thank you for the $5 to teach about LGBTQ plus IA. There you go. Let's make it happen, Misty. Chance, thank you for the $20 on Cash App. I appreciate you. Zane, thank you for the $1, man. I appreciate you saying, love watching the debates. Go blue. I love that, man. Kathleen, thank you for the $25 as well. I appreciate you so much, Kathleen. Thank you for being back here and supporting. It's incredibly kind. Yo, Audrey, thank you for the $1 as well. I appreciate you. Devin, thank you for the $4.44 saying, cook 'em, Harry. There we go, Devin. I agree with your message. Nilda, thank you for the $30 saying, you are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out Nilda. W Nilda's in the chat. And Henry, my man. Henry with $100 on Venmo saying political discourse. Oh my God. Everybody, stop what you're doing. I need at least 100 W Henrys in the chat right now. Can we please show some Henry, some love to Henry right now? Can we please get at least 100 W Henrys right now? This guy, $100, man. That is insane. Insane, buddy. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here, my man. Thank you for watching the live and supporting as well. It goes such an incredibly long way. It means the world to me. Shout out you. Shout out everything you're doing. And thanks for being here again. That is incredibly generous. W Henry in the chat. Look at that. Well, we didn't just get 100 W Henrys. We got double, 206 and counting. Still going up. So shout out Henry, W Henry. That's my guy right there. I appreciate you so much, man. I like him. I like Henry. All right. Yeah. Let's bring somebody else up. I'm flabbergasted by Henry. What a generous gentleman. That's what they call him. That's the name. Generous gentleman. Let's bring in Hayden. Let's see what Hayden has to say. See what he's got going on. What's up, man?
What's up?
How old are you?
21.
All right. Wait, first and foremost, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. You know the drill by now. Venmo, Cash App, link in bio. All right, Hayden, why are you MAGA?
I'm not MAGA. I'm actually an undecided voter.
Oh.
So this will be my first year I can actually vote. I was 18 in 2020, so I wasn't able to vote. So I'm actually very against the two-party system.
Okay.
I think it's a very dangerous rhetoric. I think on both sides, people can be bought into running. You know, Democratic side, I feel like they're both bought by the oligarchy of this country, the top 1%.
Okay. I mean, I disagree, but okay.
Why do you disagree?
Because that's obviously not in line with Biden's presidency or Vice President Kamala Harris being VP. Biden has passed a number of bills that have basically given the middle finger to some of these pharmaceutical companies, these big oil companies and things like that. He beat the pharmaceutical the industry with this bill he passed called the Inflation Reduction Act. A provision of that bill now allows Medicare, the government program, to negotiate drug prices with private companies. Before, that wasn't allowed. And these huge pharmaceutical companies were lobbying against this in Congress, saying, we don't like it. They were putting millions of dollars behind this effort. They failed. And Joe Biden said, hey, no, we're going to allow Medicare to negotiate these prices down. And now they can. Same with the Inflation Reduction Act. That was the largest investment in fighting climate change, not only in American history, but in world history. It is another middle finger to these big fossil fuel companies who have been polluting our rivers, our oceans, our air for too long now and getting away with it. And now we're investing in renewable energy, which is a direct competition with these oil companies. So I think that if Biden is doing these things and standing up to these industries and these companies, which have a long history of lobbying, a long history of political donations, then maybe he's not.
Okay. Like I said, I'm undecided. There's things on both sides I agree with. There are things on both sides I disagree with. I don't think Biden and Harris will do the things they say. Neither will Trump for the top 1%, like tax cuts for the middle class.
Trump is not going to give a tax cut to the middle class. He'll give a tax cut to the wealthy.
Of course not. I don't think Biden or Harris will either.
That's not true. I mean, look, here's the thing. The next president of the United States is going to be able to rewrite the tax code because the last tax bill that was passed was under Donald Trump in 2017. It expires fully in 2027, meaning that'll fall within the next presidency. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, now nominee Kamala Harris, is putting forward a plan that will not raise taxes for anybody making $400,000 a year or less. If you make that under a Kamala Harris plan, your taxes will not go up. But we want to raise taxes on the wealthy, whereas Donald Trump is the opposite. He wants to cut taxes for the wealthy, which screws over the middle class. So if you're like a hardworking American, which I believe you to be, you just want to put food on your table, a roof over your head, 100%. Then there's no reason why you should vote for Donald Trump, who thinks that Elon Musk needs another yacht and that Jeff Bezos needs another vacation home. Yeah, whereas Kamala Harris is like, yeah, let's take care of people like you.
Of course not. So, okay, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher and a coach. I'm also in West Texas. I have family in the oil field. So I'm in a very energy dependent part of the country. But I'm also a teacher. So that's where the undecided part comes from because, you know, Trump says, let's drill, baby, drill. And I have family that are very dependent on the oil field in this country. And I'm also a teacher who, you know, wants the pay to go up. I want my students to come to school and get a public education. So that's where the dilemma comes from. But I'm very just undecided because I think the two-party system breeds a lot of hate. I think we're the most divided we've ever been as a country, and I can't pick a side for that reason. I think both sides spew hate. I think both sides are just very dependent on spewing hate and spewing division, and I don't agree with that.
Well, look, first of all, being a teacher is awesome. So that's awesome that you're doing that. You get the best of both worlds with Kamala Harris if you were to vote for her. The reason I say that is right now, under Joe Biden, under VP Kamala Harris, we are drilling more than ever before in American history. There's not a point in American history that we drilled more oil and produced more oil than we are right now. And that includes under the Trump administration. And because of Joe Biden's investments, we are now drilling more than any country in the world. However, simultaneously, for someone like yourself, Joe Biden wants to raise Title IX pay and in effect, raise your teacher pay as well. And he wants to fund public schools more. That's been a huge part of Joe Biden's plan, Kamala Harris's plan. That's why they're endorsed by like teacher unions and stuff like that. So you get the best of both worlds with Kamala Harris for things that pertain to you. There's this whole notion that Democrats just hate oil. It's like, no, we don't. We understand that we're not going to go to green cars overnight and then we're going to have solar panels all over houses overnight. We get that. We still have to drill oil for the time being. We still have to invest in that industry. We just want to phase that out. So you get the best of both worlds with Kamala Harris.
Okay. So one more thing before I get out of the live. I just see you on my For You page all the time. I'm not following as of now. I see you on my For You page every now and then. So I saw you criticize Hulk Hogan being at the RNC, right?
Yeah.
The other day, I saw Megan Thee Stallion shaking ass at a Kamala rally. So, what do you have to say to that? Because no one really covered, no Democrats really covered the Megan Thee Stallion thing, and these rallies are big parties. I mean, Hulk Hogan was there. For the vote, for the popular vote, Megan Thee Stallion was at the Kamala rally. Yeah. He was at the Kamala rally. Megan Thee Stallion was at the Kamala rally to get votes. Like, what do you have to say to that? Because I know you were criticizing Hulk Hogan at the RNC. I didn't see anything about, Megan Thee Stallion. So what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So
she did like a mini concert.
Yeah. So with Hulk Hogan, he just gave this like really inflammatory speech and then ripped off his shirt while screaming about like MAGA's going to come get you or something like that. And like for a convention where you're like proposing your national agenda and you're nominating your candidate, I would like a more policy focused conversation, which was absent in Hulk Hogan's speech. Instead, he just like ripped off his shirt and screamed into a microphone. Whereas with like Megan Thee Stallion, that is like art. That is a performance. Right. She's there for the sole intention of she's not there to talk policy. RNC speakers are there to talk policy. Megan Thee Stallion is there to perform, to put on a concert, put on a show and engage in that art. So I just think they're the two different instances. I guess that's my view.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Had some good talking points. Appreciate it.
All right, Hayden. Appreciate it, man. Think about your vote for me,
sir.
all right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. All right. Shout out Hayden. Nice guy. Faith in Films. Thank you for the $5. Saying, why are you ducking me in a debate? I don't think I've ever seen your request, or at least type in the chat. Sheila, thank you for the $10 as well. I appreciate it. And Lee, thank you for the $5 as well, saying you are doing God's work. Thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate you being here. Danny, thank you for the $5 as well, saying I'm proud to be on your side, man. My wife and I love your content. Well, Danny, please tell your wife I said thank you along with yourself. Thank you so much, man, for being here and supporting. It really means such an incredible amount to me. So thank you. Mason, thank you for the $1 as well. Marilyn, thank you for the $20, saying from Peace Art and TikTok, the work you're doing will go down in history as one of the greatest movements to save democracy. My God, that's some high praise. High praise. Your parents must be so proud. You've helped me, my Trump-supporting Gen Z nephews in Florida change their vote to Kamala. Oh, man, I'm so glad to hear that. Yo, can we get some, hold on now. Can we get some W's for Marilyn in the chat? What an amazing individual. And thank you for your very kind words. I mean, seriously, some high praise. I've never gotten something like that. That's remarkable. So, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Very kind. All right. Let's see. Who else do we got? I'm tired, man. I gotta be honest. I'm fatigued. Kind of want to go play some NCAA. Take Penn State back to another national championship. You know the drill. All right. Yeah, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I will do my best to bring you up. Yeah. W Maryland. Rico can't invite up. Jason, I can't invite up for some reason. What's up, Carly? Good to see you. Cameron, let's see if Cameron is in the box. Is he here? He's not. He's not in the box. D. Lennon, I can't invite you because you don't have live access. Or let me see if you're in the box requesting up. Let's see. Let's give you. I want to give you the opportunity. D. Oh wait, Camden, I see you there. I'll give you a shot. D. Lennon. He's not even requesting the box. How can I bring him up? You're not requesting the box, buddy. You do not have live access. I literally do not have the ability to bring you up. I don't know what you want. I can't fix that, man. All right. Venmo, Cash App, link in bio. If you want to support the live, of course, drop a follow if you haven't already. Camden, buddy, what's up? Hello, bro.
I'm 15, but I don't know why you're voting for Line Kamala.
No, I can't. I can't bring you up, buddy. You know this. I can't bring you up. I can't bring you up, man. George. Hold on, man. George, how old are you?
I'm 17, but I'll be 8.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not kicking them out because I don't think that they should be involved in politics. I'm kicking them out because you have to be above the age of 18 to be on TikTok Live. That's not my rule. It's just the platform's rule, unfortunately. I remember when I was a 17-year-old, I would have, I was making videos on TikTok actually when I was 17. So I would have loved to be involved in political conversation. So I do think that these folks should, stay involved and talk and things of that nature. But unfortunately, that is not here. I wish it was. I wish we could talk. All right, let's see here. All right, let's bring up user. His name is 1K plus followers. No, I think it's 200 followers. Some people have 100 followers, 50 followers that I bring up, and then and for some reason they're able to come up. 21, put me in here. You got it, Mal.
Terry accepted my request.
I did, yeah.
Hello?
Oh, you have 1 bar. Oh, the Wi-Fi's terrible. Look at that. See? Look at the delayed response. Watch this. See? I want to give them the opportunity. Can you guys get better Wi-Fi? Get better Wi-Fi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So I just want to why vote for Kamala?
So your Wi-Fi is really bad because there's a huge delay, but I'll tell you before I kick you. She's a great record. She's dedicated her life to public service, and she's been involved in some of the major policies that the Biden administration has been able to get passed, including the Inflation Reduction Act, the
Bull crap.
Really? So she was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act.
Bull crap. She has no credentials. What credentials does she
a
have?
former district attorney, a former attorney general, a former senator, and now vice president. What are you talking about? She doesn't have credentials.
She was having sexual intercourse with the mayor from
she was in a consensual relationship.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't your girlfriend? Hey, buddy, didn't your partner just hand you the phone?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in a consensual relationship. Now stop judging other people for being in one.
I mean, she worked her way up.
Yeah. Kamala Harris worked her way up. She went from district attorney to attorney general to senator to vice president. That's going up the ladder of politics.
Just because you're district attorney doesn't mean that you are capable of running a country.
What about vice president? First of all, being a district attorney and then becoming an attorney general and then becoming a senator, all of these are political positions and elected positions. Gives you some knowledge as to how to run people, how to run a district you might be in, or how to run a state, or something like that. But she's also vice president of the United States. I think the vice president of the United States is one of the most qualified people to be president.
As her as VP, she was in control of the border. What the
really?
fuck?
What power in the Constitution granted her? No, that's not true. What power in the Constitution grants the vice president control of the border?
Listen.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. But she wasn't border czar. She was in charge of studying the root causes of migration from Central American countries into the United States. Had nothing to do with border prevention or anything like that. It had everything to do with studying root causes in this new globalized world.
Okay, but her and Biden could have stopped the influx of all these illegal immigrants.
What immigration policy? Are you saying that Joe Biden is worse than Trump is?
Bro, I live near the border. I'm like three hours away from the border,
state?
man.
What state?
I see. Don't worry about what state, but I see.
No, what state are you voting in? What state are you voting in?
It doesn't matter. I'm voting in the red state, man. But
okay.
I see what's going on, man. I've never seen it in my life.
I'm not asking whether you see what's going on or not, right? I'm asking you what major policy has changed from Biden to Trump that opened the border, quote unquote.
What? No, and I'm telling you, I've never seen nothing like this in my life, man. What?
That's all right. It's not. You're not answering the question. You're trying to blame Biden and Kamala Harris for the border.
You're
trying to blame Biden and Kamala Harris for the border. So what did they do to open the border?
Listen, when they both came into the office, all of a sudden I started seeing all kinds of people cross the border, even more and more every day.
What did they do to open the border?
Oh my gosh, bro!
You don't know. You know why?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't exist.
Matter what they did to open.
It does matter what it does.
They can both stop it. Stop it.
So I'm going to tell you two things that are going to blow your mind really quick. Number one. The influx of migration at the border has nothing to do with domestic policy happening in our borders. It has everything to do with things happening outside of our borders. So political conflict in countries like Venezuela has forced hundreds of thousands of people to leave their home country to go up to the United States. I'm not done yet.
That's what's wrong with
I'm not done yet. A lot of people are coming from Venezuela.
I'm talking about us, United States.
You don't know the data. A lot of people that are coming into the United States who are asylum seekers. All right, man. Here's a problem. You can't be ignorant, and then when I'm trying to inform you on this stuff, you then scream your face off about things you don't know. So number one, for example, political conflict happening in the country of Venezuela, forcing people to come out of their home countries. That has forced hundreds of thousands of people to come into the United States or seek asylum in the United States. That's why in recent migration data in the past couple of years, Venezuelans have made up a significant portion of that because of political conflict. That has only been heightened, especially recently. Now, also, COVID hurt a lot of these countries as well, forcing people out of their home countries because their economies were decimated to come to the United States and seek economic opportunity here. It has nothing to do with border policy. It has things to do with happening outside of the country. Now, you make a good point that things can be done to stop this, and I agree. That's why Biden and Vice President Harris put forward policy that was negotiated by Democrats and Republicans to stop it, which would have made it harder for people to seek asylum, which is the system that's being abused. That's why so many people are getting in right now, because it's a legal system. People are allowed to do it. They put forward a bill to stop that abuse, and the Republicans blocked that bill. Donald Trump told his Republican buddies in Congress to vote against that bill so Biden would not get a win on immigration. That's what happened. So I agree with you. It can be stopped. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris tried. The Republicans blocked it. And it has nothing to do with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for why people are coming to the country. It has everything to do with things happening outside of the country.
If it's all
School's out of
about the
session.
Republicans, if it's all about the Republicans, then why didn't I see this type of magnitude of illegal immigrants coming through our country when Trump was president? Why didn't I see it? Why when Trump gets out of office, I all of a sudden see all kinds of illegal immigrants coming through my country? Why? Why? Answer me that. Answer me that. You answer my question, so answer my question.
I literally, so if you would have listened to what I just said in my rant, you would have heard the answer to the question you just asked. I told you the pandemic.
You say the same thing to everybody, bro.
Because the answer 2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's always going to be the answer. And when you're asking me, why is migration happening the way it is, there's always an answer to it. 2 plus 2 always equals 4. The reason why the border is being overrun is because of the same reason that applies to everybody.
Okay, what about the people that were unalived from illegal immigrants? What about them? Can I answer your question first? Do you not care about them people?
Okay. I'm going to answer both your questions right now. Do you not care about them people? Do you not care about them people? You're asking me 3 questions. I got to be able to answer your questions, okay? Number 1, you asked why wasn't this happening under Trump? I already explained to you that the pandemic happened primarily after Trump, and a lot of these political conflicts happened after Trump. Number 2, what about the people who were killed? Yeah, it's obviously tragic. Nobody thinks that's a good thing, but native-born Americans are significantly more likely to commit violent crimes and rob than undocumented migrants. So the problem
under Trump. That never happened under Trump.
Who's Molly Tibbetts?
Illegal immigrants have came to the United States. And
what does the name? What does the name Molly Tibbetts mean to you? What does the name Molly Tibbetts mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
What does that name mean to you?
What do you think it means to me? What does it mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
No, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, you don't know who it is, do you? Why? Because that's a woman who was killed by an undocumented migrant under Donald Trump. Bingo, Molly Tibbetts. This happened under Donald Trump. It happens under every administration where there are bad people. There are bad people who do bad things. Just like there are native-born Americans who kill people every single day. Bad people do bad things.
We have seen several on top of several on top of several.
Except you don't know the data. You can't cite any data. You just keep, I see it. I see it. You don't know any data. You don't know that undocumented migrants are significantly less likely to commit crime than native-born Americans. You don't know that.
Really? So them coming to the country illegally, seeking asylum, as you Democrats say, asylum.
They're not illegal if they seek asylum.
Bullshit.
Oh my God. Okay.
Bullshit.
Seeking asylum is a legal process.
We got terrorists coming over here. We got people that have that's in all types of criminal stuff. Like,
all types of criminal stuff. There's a very good arguments that we make here.
No, I'm just trying to stay like
asylum is a legal process.
Because of TikTok, I'm trying to
asylum is a legal process. So if you,
it is a legal process, but y'all Democrats have been abusing it the whole year. Y'all Democrats have been abusing it since 2023.
Wait, Joe Biden tried to put forward a policy to make it harder for people to seek asylum.
Joe Biden is not in office no more. I don't want to hear his name no more.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
According to me, Joe Biden stepped down, right?
Okay. Yeah, get the hell out of my live and don't come back, all right? My guy over there doesn't even know the current president of the United States. I'm sorry, I can't talk to that guy. I'm sorry, he doesn't know the current president of the United States. Everybody, okay. MAGA memory. Yeah, so again, that guy votes, everybody. Remember, that guy votes, okay? He votes. He's going to get out there, and he's going to vote this November. So just remember that, yeah? Just remember that. That guy votes. So you should too. Hello, are you MAGA?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
All right. Why are you MAGA?
So I believe the economy was a lot stronger pre-pandemic. I don't judge the pandemic on Trump's side when he first dealt with it, as I wouldn't judge it on Biden's side because he inherited it. So if you look at the economy under Trump, the 3.5% unemployment that was hit, again, pre-pandemic, our country was in a lot better state. The middle class, just, a few facts. Middle class families saw an average increase of $6,000 a year in their annual household income. The bottom 50% of this country saw an uptick of 40% of their net wealth. You can look at the facts of household ownership under the Trump administration was a lot higher. I believe it was 9 or 10% increase, specifically in the minority sector. And the current climate we have now, I do understand that we are combating inflation, but at the same time, inflation isn't 80% higher gas prices than we were paying under the previous administration. It's not 60% higher prices at the grocery store. I understand the economic climate is a little bit different, but, just in the last 3 years, we've printed probably would think it's 23, maybe 24% of the overall currency that is currently in circulation. So, the landscape of the climate and economy standpoint, I feel, is a lot stronger under President Trump.
So you say you recognize that the pandemic played a big role in this, and then you went on to cite statistics that were caused by the pandemic under the Biden administration. So you're talking about money circulation or inflation or things like that. That was caused by the pandemic. I don't know why you're holding that against Biden and saying, well, this wasn't the case under Donald Trump, so it was better. Also, can you point me to economic policy that Trump passed to cause all of this? Cheaper or more house ownership, better economy? Yeah,
the tax cuts that you all think benefited the ultra wealthy it's not true.
So what did that do for the economy?
Specifically, like a child tax credit, doubling the child tax credit.
The same child tax credit that Republicans just voted against in the Senate the other day?
But I'm talking about Trump's presidency.
No, I'm talking more about the Republican platform.
We're talking about MAGA specifically, right? So, are we talking about House Republicans, or are we talking about MAGA versus
Senate Republicans? Senate Republicans?
Yeah, but so it's
most of them, overwhelming majority of Senate Republicans are MAGA. They back Donald Trump.
No, they're Republicans that back their nominee, who happens to be Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a career Republican.
No, they are MAGA. They're fully on board with some of these Republican senators objected to the results in 2020. So I think that's as MAGA as it gets. But yeah, so some of these Republican senators voted against it. But please give me some economic data from Trump's bill that proves that caused the economy to be better, because unemployment didn't go down rapidly, wages didn't go up rapidly, job openings didn't go up rapidly, business growth didn't go up rapidly. So where's the data you're seeing that you can prove that there's a connection between that tax cut and the economy being stronger?
Yeah, you can just, if you existed in that landscape. If you look at the blue collar workers saw 18.3% increase in their wages, specifically
over 4 years, right?
But again, those are individuals. Those are individuals that are overwhelmingly middle class, and not only are they middle class, when the country closes down on a state level or a federal level, these are the people that restore all sort of humanity, this middle class specifically.
You're not answering my question. I very much agree with the value of the middle class. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris, who won't raise taxes on anybody in the middle class if she were to win. So I'm very much and by the way, Joe Biden's been the most pro-labor union president in American history. So if you care about the middle class, you would be of the view that Biden's been a great president who has stood with labor unions and middle class workers. But that's not answering my question. What's the data that connects the tax cut to all of these numbers you're citing? Where's the connection here? Because just because it happened, just because wages went up by X amount, doesn't mean that it was caused by that bill, right?
We can get into a semantics debate about about if this and then that. The problem that I'm having with what you're saying is it seems like every single form of policy that we talk about when it comes to the economy, you push back on it all of the time. You can't identify that the economy that Trump had, that we all lived in that climate, that it wasn't far superior to the one that we're currently living in now.
Okay, see, now you're going back to your worst instincts of saying, well, now let's compare the Biden economy to the Trump economy. See, that's where you're going back into those bad instincts, which you tried to ignore at the beginning, which was good of you, and now you're going back to it. You actually have to prove a connection between the things you're saying. So if you're saying that Trump made the economy better, okay, how? I say that Biden made America's infrastructure better. And then you say, how? I say, well,
Sure,
Biden
yeah,
has
no,
a huge
yeah,
infrastructure,
yeah, sure.
right?
So
For
I think-
example.
I think
so you have to
bringing-
actually display to me the data
Yeah.
that backs up your argument that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act greatly improved our economy.
Sure. The tariffs that we were talking about that everyone's so controversial about helped bring 1.2 million manufacturing jobs and construction jobs back to this country.
Where'd you get that data from?
It's literally go on the White House archives. You can see it.
Okay, wait. I don't need a White House archives because White House archives is a page written by the Trump administration. I don't need White House archives. Do you have because Trump actually outsourced more jobs than Obama? So where did you get this 1.2 million number? That's not from like a Trump administration source.
You can. I mean, I can go and cite you different sources if you'd like me to pause to go look it up and send it to you.
So wait.
I'm just saying if you want.
Sure, I mean, yeah.
I'm not citing a source. I'm just saying you can look at it in the archives. It's in the archives. You can say it's true or it's not true or the Trump administration had put that out. But I mean that doesn't matter of the fact that I'm not citing a source of hey, I saw this on this here. It's in the archives. You can see it in the archives.
Yeah, I have a fact check in front of me. The Trump claimed that he himself brought 700,000 manufacturing jobs back. And the facts first saying, quote, this was not even true before the pandemic driven recession. As of February, 483,000 manufacturing jobs have been added under Trump's presidency. As of the most recent data from August, 237,000 manufacturing jobs have been lost under Donald Trump. For coal, for example, after denouncing Biden for the Obama administration's effort to reduce the use of coal, Trump said, I saved it. I put our miners back to work. Facts first. As of August, 5,300 coal mining jobs have been lost under Trump. As of February, it was a loss of 1,000. And the industry generally continues to decline amid a shift by utility companies toward cheaper natural gas and cleaner renewables. Yeah, I'm not seeing any data that backs this up. I think you should probably not cite the pathological liar Donald Trump for your data. It's probably not a good idea.
But I think that it's awfully funny that we're talking about economic climate and while also not talking about what literally just came out today. I mean, I'm sure you saw the job report today, right? I'm sure you saw or happened to look at the stock market today and saw the reflection of that job report and where we're at currently, right? I mean, it was the worst numbers since 2021. We can agree on that, correct?
I actually didn't see the job report today. I actually didn't see it.
Take a look at it because it's not good.
Well, the job report recently have been fantastic. 114,000 jobs were added last month. It's probably lower than expected, but every other
it was well lower than expected.
What was expected?
I want to say they fell like 40% short of what they were expecting.
So they were estimating 175,000 jobs. 114,000 jobs were added. Most of these are always also revised after the fact, so it'll probably be up more than it is now once the revisions come up in a couple of months. But yeah, I mean, not every month is going to be a great jobs report month. I mean, I think we know that. You're never going to have all amazing, higher than expectations job report all the time. But previous to this, we've had these fantastic jobs reports of hundreds of thousands more than expected or tens of thousands more than expected. So, as you probably would concede, the economy ebbs and flows. It's not always rainbow and sunshines.
Sure. No, I can totally understand that. But if we're giving this administration a pass on everything, specifically inflation, the prices, if it really equates to inflation, which I mean, we all know, at least I do, I'm assuming that most Americans do as well. They identify that the current climate of prices is not just indicative of the inflation rate. We're paying way higher than our inflation rates. We can debate if that's because of corporations, making us pay for it or whatever the case may be. But gas prices are out of whack. Food prices are out of whack. People cannot support a single family, cannot support what they were able to support 4 to 6 years ago currently. I mean, it's
not
just
because of Joe Biden.
Because of who then? Or because
it's
of
not
what?
because of any one individual. That's what I don't understand about this conversation. I don't understand why you guys feel the need to point a finger at somebody. You can't see the broader picture of it. It's not somebody. It's a broader global trend. Inflation rates spiked in the United States, and at around the same time, they spiked in other developed countries. and economies, Great Britain, Germany, France, Japan, all these countries had their inflation rates go up at that exact very same time. Why? Well, it's not a coincidence. It's because supply chains were shut down for everybody. During the pandemic, all economies around the world shut down. During the pandemic, nobody was shipping things around the world. Normal trade routes were being interrupted and things like that. That affected every economy. That's not because of Joe Biden. And there were economists back in 2020 before Biden even took office writing that there was going to be high inflation.
So you don't feel at all that the current foreign policy or lack thereof that we have has any sort of contribution to the reason why we're paying for things here at higher prices than we should be? You don't think us funding? Give me an example of that? You don't think us funding Ukraine has anything to do with the price of our stuff that we're paying for here? You don't think that leaving? Please tell me how that's the case. Hold on a second. You don't think that leaving $7 billion of military grade equipment? It is true. It's $7 billion of military grade equipment. I don't know. Humvees, weapons.
Facts are a stubborn thing.
It's the truth.
Really? Because the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff appointed by Donald Trump, Mark Milley, testified before Congress that that's not the truth. The Pentagon and the Department of Defense also put out statements saying that that's not the truth. So I'm curious where you're getting this data from.
Again, what did they say was the truth then? Please.
Oh, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley. Yeah,
he testified. How much was left? How much did we leave there, Harry?
He testified that any American equipment was brought back or disabled and destroyed on site. The $7 billion you reference is the amount of the worth of the equipment we gave to the Afghan National Army over the 20-year period that we were there. That $7 billion of equipment is not our equipment. If you give something to somebody, it is their equipment. So we could not take it back with us.
I have people that directly worked in that climate. That's 1,000%.
Well, then I would hope that you would know that you're wrong.
No, you are 1,000% wrong.
Prove me wrong.
And it's got to be something that they're feeding you to say here publicly or whatever it is, because it's not.
Let's watch it ourselves. Really? Let's just keep talking. Keep talking while I find this for you.
I mean, I'm just saying flat out, if it just from a whole perspective of what we've been talking about, you act like the middle class of America have not been living in both of these economic climates, and that it's not night and day.
As I recall, and I think it's laid out in the Seaguars report, the special IG for Afghanistan, there's about 80 some odd billion dollars worth of military aid total. That's everything from food and building barracks and uniforms and boots to include equipment over 20 years. Right. And then he cites, I think it's 7.2 billion of military equipment, U.S. manufactured military equipment that is with the Afghan security forces. That's Afghan owned equipment, not American equipment. Every piece of American equipment that the American military owned came out with us with Scott Miller, or he destroyed it on site. And that's a fact. So,
So the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that was appointed by Donald Trump, Mark Milley, is confirming what I said.
Again, we can get into, sure, if that's what he said, and that's factual, of course, of what he's saying. I'll let that at bay, but I know firsthand from people that were actually in that climate that was not the case. So again, we could talk about somebody who's a chief of staff, or we could talk about boots on the ground, or the people that I know that was actually there.
He wasn't chief of staff. He was chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. That's the highest military position that somebody can be appointed to by the president.
Sure.
So this guy, who's appointed by Trump, is saying you're wrong. I don't know who you know or who you think you know that has more information on this stuff, but we know this to be the truth. You can also read the Inspector General reports.
Statements that are given to the American public sometimes are not factual based off of the actual climate of what's going on.
He testified.
And I know that from people that were over there. And again,
he testified to this
we could debate about the 20 years. We could debate about the 20 years and the $80 billion of funding that was done. You can look at the exit strategy of that of Afghanistan and what we did there. And if you want to talk about, debate $7 billion, do you want to debate 13 lives that were lost too?
You brought up the $7 billion.
Right.
You brought up the $7 billion. Just for the record, I didn't bring it up because it's not even a relevant talking point. It's like
it is a relevant talking point.
Okay, well, it's a relevant talking point that you've been debunked on by now.
It's
okay,
not,
so I'm glad we got past that.
It's not being debunked.
You were debunked. You made a false claim and got debunked. You lied about that. I don't know if it was deliberate or you just genuinely didn't know.
As somebody saying, as far as I know, not I am 1000% confirming or 100% confirming this as factual. Again, we just watched.
This is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
The director of the FBI question whether Trump got hit with a bullet in his ear, and then
bullet or shrapnel.
Again, and then what happened?
Because they're not making definitive statements because it's an ongoing investigation.
And then what did the FBI do at the next time that they had to stand in front of a committee? What happened?
Yeah, it's an ongoing investigation, but that's not even relevant to what we're talking about here.
What did they say, though?
Wait. We're not pivoting, though. We're not pivoting.
I'm not pivoting. I'm saying to you that people that are in that are in elected positions are not always factual and forthcoming with.
Do you have any evidence of the contrary? Do you have any evidence of the contrary?
Give me 2 seconds, and I will pull up a source for you.
Please, by all means, go find something.
Okay, hold on 1 second. What is a credible source for you? Because I'm not going to cite something and then you say, oh, they're not credible because they're Fox News or anything like that. So what sources are okay for you?
Just pull me up anything. We'll talk about the validity. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yikes.
While we're waiting, make sure to drop a follow if you have a whole source here, but give me a second.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up some things myself of the Department of Defense and the Pentagon saying the opposite of you. So,
okay. So, here we go. CNN, ready? U.S. left behind,
the article called
U.S. left behind $7 billion of military equipment in Afghanistan after 2021 withdrawal. Pentagon report says.
Go ahead. Read the article.
Approximately
by the way,
$7 billion
the
of
same
military
article,
equipment.
I have it right here.
Okay, cool.
And you're going to find that this article supports what I say and not what you, by all means. Go ahead, read.
Approximately $7 billion of military equipment the U.S. transferred to the Afghan government over the course of 16 years. Oh! So there's 16 years. So it's 16 years or 20 years because yours said 20 years, right?
Yeah, I rounded up from 16 to 20. Yes.
Well, no, that was the direct quote from the.
Yeah,
video.
they rounded up from 16 to 20. They didn't give you.
So
yeah, we rounded up.
Yeah, so we can distort facts in rounding up when we want to.
We
right?
rounded up the years of which.
So we can round the years up. But I'm saying
Afghanistan.
So we can manipulate the amount of money.
Keep reading.
How is that okay to manipulate a fact though?
We rounded up from 16 years. We rounded up from 16 years to 20 years. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry to hurt your feelings. Now let's focus on the real facts here.
So you rounded up a whole administration.
Buddy, stop with the semantics. You know you got caught. Let's keep going.
At all.
It is. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
It's funny how we twist the truth.
Go ahead. You can have your temper tantrum. You can have your temper tantrum.
I'm not throwing a temper tantrum at all.
You're throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum because you just read an article. You read an article and the first paragraph debunked what you said, and the article citing what is backing up what I said.
No, not at all.
So you can have your temper tantrum over the years that I said, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said. They round up from 16 to 20.
A total of $18.6 billion of equipment to the Afghan National Defense and Security Forces from 15 to 21. Right, that's not 20 years.
From 2005 to 2021. That's what it says.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry, 2005 to.
Oh wait, why are you distorting facts? Why?
I wasn't distorting it.
We're not going to do semantical stuff. Keep reading.
I just misspoke. Again, I misspoke.
No. Keep reading.
Between lying and twisting facts.
No. You distorted facts. You distorted facts. Now keep reading. Come on.
If I wanted to distort facts, I could ask.
Keep reading. Come on, let's go.
Question, and I guarantee you wouldn't answer the question.
Keep reading. Let's go.
According to the report of the total equipment worth $7.12 billion remained in Afghanistan after the U.S. withdrawal was completed in August of 21. It included aircrafts, air-to-ground munitions, military vehicles, weapons, communication equipment, and other materials, according to the DoD report. I guess the DOD report's not doesn't mean anything, right? The Department of Defense.
Hold on,
has
wait,
no bearing
time
in the
out. The DOD report is backing up what I said, that this is Afghanistan equipment that's or owned by the Afghan forces, not the United States.
It's not.
And
Harry,
you'll see
us giving
really
equipment,
because if you would have kept reading the article that you didn't just cite without reading it, you would have seen that in a paragraph later, and I'll fast forward for you so we don't have to hear this.
We can.
Quote,
the huge value of the hardware left behind.
No. I'm reading.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna mute you now because you're just gonna keep talking. I'm reading you a quote that debunks what you just said. Quote. The 7.12 billion figure cited in the department's recent report to Congress corresponds to ANDSF equipment and not U.S. military equipment used by our forces, Army Major Rob Lodwick, a Defense Department spokesperson, said. So the Defense Department, the DOD, in their report, they concluded that equipment was not American equipment. So we have the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Pentagon, and the DOD all saying that this was not American equipment. It was owned by the Afghan National Force, and that's apparently not good enough for you. You want to double, triple, quadruple down on this lie that you're spewing. Buddy, you can just admit you're wrong. It's fine.
No, again, this is so we can twist all we want here. Much of the remaining equipment that was left there is equipment that we provided to help sustain an area.
Yes.
Right. That we provided. That we provided with our boots on the ground. That our military used. Correct.
No,
so when
it's
we're
for
done,
them.
So
it's
when
for
we're,
them.
It's that, but that's not true though.
Oh my
That's
God!
Not true,
Wait,
though.
the
Bro,
DOD spokesperson I just read to you said that it was ANDSF equipment.
Either you don't have anybody that's one degree of separation away from you that's ever served.
All right. Let's just take this. Let's just take this very slow because apparently we need to do that. The U.S. gave a total of $18.6 billion of equipment to the Afghan National Defense and Security Forces. That abbreviation is ANDSF. Later in the article that we are both reading and the one you cited, a Defense Department spokesperson said, quote, the 7.12 billion figure cited in the department's recent report to Congress corresponds to ANDSF equipment and not U.S. military equipment used by our forces. I don't know how many times I have to read this to you and say this to you over, but you're wrong. It's okay to admit that you're wrong, but you don't have to keep doubling down and going down this weird alley or don't die on this hill. Just move on and say you're wrong.
I'm not dying on any hill again.
Okay, so then say you were wrong about your original claim.
If the report that you cited and that sure, I'll say that I'm wrong on that claim. Sure, absolutely.
Amazing.
Sure.
Beautiful.
At the end of the day, though, when we're talking about the macro level of what we were talking about and why we got into that portion of it, you said yourself that you don't think the money that we're sending overseas to help fund fighting off a war or anything like that has no bearing on our economic climate. Is that really what you think?
Yeah.
How
what's
is
the evidence that
is that possible? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, what's the evidence that our aid to Ukraine, which has primarily been weapons, has contributed to inflation?
I mean, again, it's the mixture of, you're obviously aware of the guns and butter economic climate.
Please, I'm just looking for some data, please.
Data that supports what? That
the idea that our aid to Ukraine, which has been primarily been weapons,
tax dollars that go overseas don't cause
these are weapons that we've had in our reserve for 5, 10, 15 years now. So it's not tax dollars that we're printing now to buy these weapons. So I'm curious, how is moving a $900,000 taxpayer missile from our supply to the battlefield in Ukraine somehow magically causing inflation?
So that's the only thing that we've sent there. That's all. That's
primarily the overwhelming majority of the aid we've sent
is primarily all of it.
Correct. Weapons. A form of aid we've sent to Ukraine is weapons.
Yeah, right. But primarily is not 100%. Correct.
Yeah, I would if it was 100%. I would have said 100%.
Right. So we can clearly say that, regardless, even if it was 1%, which it's not, we are sending money to Ukraine. We're not just sending military grade equipment to them.
Yeah, except we are. So we're sending humanitarian aid, military weapons, and some financial support.
Yeah.
So the weapons account for 70 to 80% of what we said. The humanitarian aid counts for 10 to 15% of what we spent, and then the actual financial assistance accounts for the very small percentage of the rest. So I want you to tell me how that like 5 to 10, maybe even 15. Actually, I'm not even going to be that generous. 5 to maybe 10% of financial aid we've sent out of like $130 billion, which, by the way, not all $130 billion have been sent to Ukraine yet, is somehow contributing to inflation. And then I want you to tell me why inflation rates also spiked all around the world in other developed economies at the same time.
Sure. Again, I mean, if we're going to talk about, you kind of threw a lot at me. So how do you want me to address it? Can you
just please tell me how the financial aid we've sent, which accounts for like 5% of the actual aid, actually
Sure,
caused inflation?
it's a whole comprehensive thing, right? We've talked about as it pertains to the policies and everything else from the administration, where our money is getting allocated to, right? So certain things that happen in a climate that Trump held is we had sustainability in multiple regions during his presidency. We didn't have to send money elsewhere. We were able to put tariffs on goods that were coming in here. So the fact that we could produce more within our own country, when we are funding other people's wars that they're fighting, and it's at the expense of the American people, the homeless population is a huge problem right now. The minority, illegal immigration that are predominantly minorities is a problem right now. And these are situations that when you are funding other people's wars, you can't establish anything at home that would help your own people. That's the problem.
You said absolutely nothing. I was listening.
No,
I was waiting for you to actually say something, but you in that entire thing you just went on, you said absolutely nothing. You didn't tell me at all how that small financial aid we sent actually raised inflation. So I'll give you another shot at it. How did that small financial aid that the United States has sent to Ukraine cause inflation?
It contributes, sure, yeah. So any money that we send or allocate anywhere across a whole budget that doesn't help stimulate our economy helps add to the inflation. I mean, it's pretty simple to see. Even if it was $1 that we sent in financial aid elsewhere, we're paying for that in our tax dollars.
You're still saying nothing.
No, that's not true.
It's circular reasoning.
You're failing to
No, you're not actually saying anything, and you're not saying anything. You're you're trying to fill the air with a bunch of words, right? To try to somehow cover up a lack of knowledge on the topic.
That's not true.
So I'm
at all.
asking you very specifically, how does that small financial aid actually lead to inflation? And you're just saying, well, any money leaving the country leads to inflation.
We don't know how much that financial aid is.
Wait,
it's hard to compute. We don't know.
We do know. We have all of these bills.
Yes.
We have all of these bills that have the money appropriated.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, let me just be clear here. Do you think that the money that Donald Trump sent abroad under his presidency also caused inflation?
I think there was more stability in every single region, and we had more going on within our economy.
The stability doesn't factor into the equation, right? Because if this caused inflation, then it caused inflation, or either it doesn't. Either it does or doesn't. So does sending financial aid abroad cause inflation or not?
It does. It definitely contributes to it. Yes, it does.
Okay, so then Trump also contributed to inflation under your view.
It's different climates, completely different climates.
Okay, so that's a complete cop out. So did Trump contribute to inflation? It is. Did Trump contribute to inflation with his foreign aid or not?
Again,
I'm asking a very simple question. Did Donald Trump contribute to inflation with his financial aid or not?
No, it's not the same thing.
Okay, so to be clear here, under Biden, when we've sent mostly military weapons to Ukraine, that somehow caused inflation all around the world. But when Donald Trump does it, then there's no inflation caused. That is the most nonsensical argument I've heard.
Harry,
Probably not tonight, enough, but that's ridiculous.
You're saying that you're literally saying that inflation is causing 80% higher gas prices. Inflation is not 80%. You're saying that inflation is causing 50 to 60% higher.
You're doing cumulative. I don't know why you're doing that.
You're living in this inflation world. Like, oh, it's not Biden's fault. He was in he was in a pandemic, and it's not his fault. This is the economy he inherited. No, dude. At the end of the day, inflation is not 80% higher gas prices. Inflation is not 50 to 60% higher food prices.
Really?
It's not astronomically high interest rates and the inability to afford homes. It's not
you're not saying anything. You're not even saying anything.
Yes,
it's so frustrating how you're not. You're literally not saying anything. You're not addressing any of the claims I've made. So just to be clear here, you're holding a different standard for inflation under Biden and Trump. Fine, whatever. It's hypocrisy at its finest, whatever. But the idea. So then give me something else. If it's not inflation, causing these prices, which it is, by the way, what else is it?
So inflation causes 80% higher gas prices?
Literally, yes.
80%.
How do you think prices go up? What do you
80%.
What other than inflation causes prices to go up?
Bro, like what's the inflation percent right now in your mind?
Oh my God.
In your mind.
What other than inflation has causes prices to go up?
What are you talking about? What do you are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you. What other than inflation causes prices to go up?
But you're not answering my question. You're asking a question to me.
You're not even answering. You're not even speaking.
You didn't say anything, dude.
I asked you a very simple question. You're saying
you're
saying that the 80% increase in prices is not inflation, it's something else. So you're saying that the 80% increase in whatever you're citing right now is not because of inflation. I'm saying, okay, then what is it?
I'm not again, inflation contributes to it. It does not cause 80% higher gas.
Then what
prices.
else is it? What else?
Closing the pipeline didn't help, right?
Really? Because that pipeline was only 8% complete when it was closed. So I don't know how that would have contributed to inflation if it wasn't in operation. And also, it was only for the benefit of one Canadian oil company. You wanted that pipeline to be operating in the United States, which was an extension of an already existing pipeline and a pipeline that's still operating today, so they could bring their oil down from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico so they could refine it and sell it abroad for a profit. So I don't understand how closing a pipeline that had a variety of legal challenges wasn't helping the United States somehow contributed to inflation.
There wasn't any sort of economic value the United States of America was going to get by this pipeline being open?
You said that it caused inflation. How?
I'm asking you a question. Every time I ask you a question, you just like rephrase a different question to me.
I'm asking you how that you said that closing. Wait. Your original claim was that closing the pipeline contributed to inflation.
It's a whole comprehensive thing. It's a whole comprehensive. You're still not saying anything. You're just trying to use like these words to fill space. It's super weird. Not true.
How did closing the pipeline cause inflation?
Again, it contributed to the fact that
how did it contribute?
Sure. Let me finish. Let me
contribute? Sure. Please just answer the question for once. How did it contribute?
Of course it contributed because of the fact that we were going to use a pipeline that we were going to benefit from financially ourselves. We were going to use a pipeline that was going to help create other jobs within our country.
How were we going to benefit financially from that pipeline?
Do you think that this pipeline was going to go from Canada and run through the Gulf, and we weren't going to see?
I'm not asking for you to pose another question back to me. I'm asking you, how were we in the United States going to benefit from this pipeline?
Because it would have ran through our country.
So,
right. So what? We're just going to let something run through our country for free? That's the problem.
That was the goal of that Canadian oil company. That's why the pipeline made absolutely no sense. Exactly. You hit it right on the nose. Yeah, exactly. It's going to run through our country, and by the end of the time that it's constructed, there's only going to be a handful of permanent jobs in each state, just so this Canadian oil company can make some oil and sell abroad. You can argue the same thing about the Green New Deal. I'm not a fan of that. So how is it actually going to help the United States economically?
You can argue the same thing about the Green New Deal. By the time it gets implemented, so many people are going to be without jobs.
The Green New Deal is not even a policy that's not even being proposed by anybody.
But it was supported by Kamala, right?
No, it's not even a legislation. It's an outline of what they think the United States should move to. So
Kamala's never come out.
I'm not done speaking yet. Okay, it's an outline of a goal that people have for a future of the United States, right? When it's like a green energy future, but it's not actually a piece of legislation that's been introduced in Congress. And we're going to be there one day, whether you like the Green New Deal or not. It's going to be the case one day that we are a renewable energy country. We run off of electric vehicles and stuff like that.
It's going to be the case. It's going to be the case that we have a decision in that. Yeah, it's not going to be a mandate. Absolutely not.
Well, whether we like it or not, that's the direction we want to go to. So we can sink as a world and a country and succumb to climate change and the repercussions of that, or we can actually take action and try to make it not bad. So please, let's get back to the topic. How was the Keystone Pipeline going to help us economically?
Again, it's running through our country.
That still means nothing to me. Can you give me specifics as to how it's going to help us economically?
Yeah. Absolutely. If it's running through our country and we're shipping it out of our ports, we're generating income via the ports and through the pipeline itself.
We're not making money from it.
Sure, we are.
No, we are not.
What do you think the tariffs were for?
They are. We don't have a tariff toward Canada.
We were going to have one with the pipeline. They were going to pay.
How do tariffs work?
They were going to pay. They were going to pay a premium to restore the pipeline through America.
That's not true.
It's the truth.
No, that's not true. That's objectively false. How do tariffs work?
What do you mean? How do tariffs work?
How do tariffs work? Explain us to how do tariff works.
Taxing goods that come into our country.
And who benefits? Like who's the tax on?
The tax is on whoever's bringing the products through the country.
And who would that might be? Who, like, if we're trading with China, who gets taxed?
Whoever's inheriting the good that's coming in.
Which might be like the company in the United States. Are you saying that the company in the United States gets taxed?
No, like a Chinese company would get taxed as well as somebody in the States would get taxed. It's taxed.
No, that's not true. So exactly, you don't know how tariffs work. Tariffs do not impose a tax on the country that we're importing the good from. It imposes a tax on the American company that's importing it from another country to incentivize them to buy from the United States. So there is no tax on China. There's no tax on China as a result of tariffs.
Where are these countries headquartered? Where
are these countries headquartered?
Where are these companies headquartered?
Where are these countries headquartered?
You know what I'm trying to say. Where are these companies headquartered?
Well, you said where are these countries headquartered?
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Even if they're headquartered in China or the United States, it doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. Are you kidding me? How does that not matter?
It does not matter. How does that matter?
Okay. Again, there are companies in America or that are founded in America that the U.S. dollar is the reason why that they're so successful. The Nikes of the world, any big company you could think of that outsources all of their manufacturing and everything overseas because they save a boatload of cash by doing it. And the reason why they're capable of doing it is because there's no mandates put in place that protects the American workers. So when you put a tariff and you say to companies that are inheriting goods into our country, I don't care where you're getting these goods from, you're going to pay a premium because you're not supporting America-made products. That is good for America. That is built in America.
But it's just objectively false. So when Donald Trump put tariffs on these countries or these companies in the United States that were importing goods from other countries, in the steel industry, for every one job that was created, $900,000 got passed on to the consumers. In the washing machine industry, for every one job that was created, $850,000 got passed on to the consumers. It only makes things more expensive for Americans at home. Donald Trump got into this whole trade war with China with all of these tariffs and then cut off a bunch of trade routes for soybean farmers here in the United States to Pacific Ring countries. Why? Why would he do that? Because he's awful at what he does. He's awful at what he does. That's how tariffs work. The idea that you think that we're somehow imposing a tax on China with a tariff is literal nonsense. I encourage you to look up how tariffs work, and they give you a breakdown.
The definition of what you're talking about, I understand who gets taxed on a tariff itself.
You do not. No, you do not. You said because originally you said that China gets the tax.
Is that these companies that are sending product into the United States, regardless if the American people are getting taxed for it, these companies are headquartered in the same countries they're sending the product from. They're benefiting on it both ways.
The company that's importing the good gets the tax. That's not as simple as a definition as I can give to you.
Again, I'm not disputing that. That's not what's being disputed. You're saying that it doesn't matter where these companies are headquartered, as if there isn't a manipulation.
Oh, please bring it, Parker.
Tariffs.
I can't even do this anymore. No. Well, first of all, you were saying that tariffs were effective. God, Parker, I mean, can you even believe? You were saying that tariffs were effective, and I'm saying that that's nonsense. And you were saying that, well, they're headquartered here in the United States, which means they're effective. I'm saying, no, that's also nonsense.
Wait, so can I just ask you, can you name one economist that specifically argues that tariffs at the degree that Trump's advocating for is beneficial for the economy?
As far as citing?
Yeah. Just name me one economist.
I mean, I don't have an economist at my top of my head to tell you.
Yeah, so basically most economists think that tariffs are negatively impactful towards the middle class and towards American business as it relates to our exports. Our exports become significantly less valuable given that we have tariffs applied on our goods, because if we apply tariffs on goods coming into the country, they apply tariffs on us. Our goods are then less desirable to those countries because there's a higher price on them.
I think we all would agree that the world currency is still the US dollar, right?
Well, it's not the world currency. It's
the most used metric, I guess, in comparison to other countries around the world.
That doesn't mean it's the world currency. There's exchange rates.
So, what would you say then is the strongest currency currently in the world, regulated?
the strongest current that I don't know. Strong is just going to be like arbitrary in a sense. It's going to be subjective. Like, what do you mean by strong? By strongest currency, do you mean the most stable currency? Because the most stable currency is probably gold.
So forcing companies or individuals in America to manufacture in America creates more jobs. We would agree, right?
Yeah,
if they have to make the product in America, and if they make it elsewhere, they're going to get taxed on it. That helps the American economy and the American worker. No.
Not necessarily, because the American worker buys goods from other countries, and they rely upon their goods being sold to other countries. So there would be less jobs within the certain sense that like we would have less export jobs as it relates to our particular goods, and then we would have higher costs for goods. So that would actually cause there to be less demand for our goods as well.
So we can, again, as far as it pertains to America and America first, right, which is the agenda that the administration you guys aren't on board with says that they're about, right? America first.
Says that's what the crucial word says.
So
tariffs objectively increase prices. If you think that inflation's bad now, Donald Trump would cause more inflation.
Right, but if it simultaneously creates more jobs and we start producing more things in our country from a country landscape, we can argue about the landscape across the globe.
You can create jobs by investing in renewable energy.
Creating more jobs by manufacturing more products.
So let's how about let's do renewable energy?
Yeah, it's one of the fastest growing markets in America. I feel like we should invest in that.
I think that there's been tremendous amount of investments in the sector, right?
Let's be more energy independent, right?
AI is another sector where there's been AI sector is another sector where there's been tremendous amount of investments, right?
Yeah, so if we can make these investments and create jobs and make America better for it, why would we need tariffs to do that when that only hurts consumers?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't only hurt consumers.
It objectively hurts consumers.
Tariffs are an act of war.
Anybody that's ordered off of talking about consumers itself, if you've ordered off, I don't know, a Temu or wherever it is, we all know that there's no sort of exactancy of when you're going to get your product and if it's going to be the product that you really ordered. I mean, the quality issues that you get from going overseas for products, there's not as much quality assurance as there is in the States. We would agree about that, right?
Okay, so then people choose to buy them. So if there were higher quality standards, then that mattered to consumers as to whether or not they're going to buy the product, that they would then choose to buy products from the United States. So instead of forcing people to buy American-made products, incentivize them to do so.
You're not forcing them
by making those products either more affordable or by making them higher quality.
But you're not forcing anybody to have to buy.
Yeah, you are when you impose tariffs.
You're imposing
because
a tariff
you're increasing the cost.
I mean, again, it's
like
a luxury.
Aubrey.
It's like a luxury in the same aspect, right? I can't expect to go out to a lavish dinner every single night, right? Without paying like X amount of dollars, right? So again, if I want to shop outside of the country and help build other areas of the world, sure. There shouldn't be anything wrong with paying a tax on those products. If they're coming into America and you're not paying taxes off of it, then why are we shipping it through our ports?
So as it relates to it, again, we're not arguing for zero taxes in general. What we're saying is that tariffs specifically are like an act of economic war, and it leads to other countries imposing tariffs on us, which restricts trade and makes the economy worse for everyone. Okay? So tariffs are not very beneficial. If you want to incentivize, investment in the United States, do tax credits for American businesses that hire workers.
Sure. I can agree that tax credits for people that hire American workers, for sure, I would be on board with that. I think, again, when we look at the amount of money that certain companies have, predominantly American consumers that purchase their product and pay American premium prices, that then have these products shipped from overseas does not help the American consumer. It helps big corporations and corporate America.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but no economist agrees with you. Right? You saying that like tariffs increasing wouldn't hurt the middle class is just heavily disputed.
If you incentivized companies, and like how you were saying, right? You can incentivize them both ways. You can incentivize them by saying, hey, you're predominantly, say 90% of your business is done by the American people, right? You ship your products through America, and say you're a Nike or you're a big corporation that has a very strong prevalence in America. Instead of having all these different headquarters that are based in all areas of the world, we want you to have your headquarters here and solely here, and we're going to give you a tax credit to do it.
Yeah, I'm fine with a tax credit. I have an issue with tariffs. Okay, and Trump is not advocating for those tax credits like what we did with the Chips and Science Act, right? He's advocating for tariffs, right, to an extremely high extent, which would cause a reduction in economic growth. Increase in prices.
I don't believe that an increase in prices, if it's creating more jobs here and people are sustaining themselves nationally instead of just internationally, helps us nationally. We can debate and talk about the difference in international landscapes of, well, if this then that, and all this quid pro quo things that would transpire after these tariffs came into place. But the whole reason that this would be implemented is to incentivize other companies to come back into America and manufacture here, to create more manufacturing jobs, to produce more things in our country.
You keep making that. I don't know why you keep making that point.
As a world power, we are too reliant on too many things outside of our country, and I think that's contributed astronomically to obviously our debt and just sustainability.
No, I don't. You just keep making the same point, so I don't know what we're arguing. So what do you want to argue? You just keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I've got one question, and it's more, I guess, a question for you, Harry.
Yeah.
I've seen conflicting stuff. I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I'm not doing it to be a, whatever. There's reports on X that you're paid by the administration to be a social media consultant by the Biden and Harris administration. Is that factual?
No.
Okay. Again, regardless of our political differences, I appreciate you guys doing, what you're doing, because again, you're educating a lot of people on different ways that we're going to shape our country one way or another. So appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me. And I know we have a difference of opinion, but still wish you guys well, and let's see what happens come November.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your night. All right.
You too.
Thanks.
Have your debates been tonight, man?
Well, I had a guy who said that civil rights should be left up to the states, and that if a state voted to reinstate slavery, that he would be okay with that. He also didn't know where Ukraine was on a map, so it was fun.
That's insane. I had someone a few days ago admit to voter fraud in my live as a MAGA supporter. Literally said they voted twice. They voted for their wife when they didn't want to vote. Literally admitted that to that. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I really do want to hear it, actually. What?
Right. Yeah, I'm actually not trolling. Literally admitted to voter fraud in my live, and I'm like, is this actually serious?
Is this for real?
Is this for real? Here, let me. Is this the guy?
Usually, Claiborne. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 62 years old.
Wait, I talked to you recently.
Hey, you sure did.
Yeah, this guy's a troll.
I ain't no damn troll, Parker. You a goddamn Biden wannabe. You goddamn.
This guy is trolling you.
I voted for Trump twice. Okay, you're wondering how. I voted for me. My wife didn't want to vote. I walked in with her and I pushed the button. So, technically, yeah, I pushed it twice, but it was no vote. I'm just saying. And he still lost, so.
She didn't want to vote. You just admitted to voter fraud, bro.
No, well, it is what it is.
FBI, open the fuck up, dude. FBI.
That's literally what I said on the live.
Bro, these guys are so dumb. Oh my God.
It was the Democrats. It was the Democrats.
It's the Democrats, but I voted twice. That's okay for me to do it. It's okay. Jesus Christ. All right. Wow. Holy. Hopefully somebody took action about that. Preston, my man, are you MAGA?
I'm actually undecided. So I'm 23. I've been serving in the military for a little over 5 years now. And now that I've told you about myself, I'm kind of curious because I'm new around here and I just followed you about an hour and a half ago.
Oh, I appreciate
and I've been listening the whole time. I kind of want to know, like, what do y'all do for a living? Because I've been listening to you talk and I kind of want to know, like, who I'm listening to. So what?
I do this.
Yeah, I'm still in college, so I do this in college.
Yeah, I just graduated it with an economics degree.
Okay, so how old are y'all?
22.
21.
21 and 22. Okay. So like I said, I'm undecided. And it's really hard to decide because like when I come on lives like this or like, you know, social media or news or TV or people I know in person, I think both sides just have nothing but bad things to say about each other. So like when one person, let's say on the Trump side, says something and it doesn't make sense, everyone's like, oh my God, all the MAGA people, they're stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then if you go to Kamala's side, it's like all the bad things they say about Kamala. If you support Kamala, blah, blah, blah. So it's really hard for me to like decide. And and watching you, like if I'm being honest, like there was a few times tonight where like right now you're letting me talk. And I think it's because I didn't come off saying I'm a Trump supporter or whatever, or trying to argue. I think it's been more arguing than debating. And I've seen both sides like not let the other person talk. It's hard to decide because we're so divided. So I kind of just wanted to ask you, I guess the main thing was Trump policies on military and Kamala's policies, what she wants to do with the military.
So first things first, I let people talk when they're not like, number one, like combative and rude. So if they're like, okay. And also like honest debaters, like if somebody is wrong and they don't acknowledge that they're wrong, like, and they start becoming defensive, it's like, you know, I don't know this, and they're interrupting me. Like that's the main thing. If they're interrupting me, I won't let them talk, or at least, you know, do the same thing back. So number one, that's number one. But number two, I think we have to look at Kamala Harris's record in the Biden administration to know what a future Harris administration looks like. That's, you know, under Biden and Harris, they gave the largest raise to military members since the early 2000s, just above 5% in 2024. They have the PACT Act expanding veterans health care to now 1.2 million people have signed up for that program who are getting health care now who weren't previously. We're funding the military more and things of that nature. So I think that, you know, Harris wants to continue on that work, specifically focusing on like the VA and stuff like that and getting the VA more funding. And continuing to raise the military pay because I think we can all agree it's too low. And that's kind of the view that she has. And of course, we're still yet to learn more, but that's kind of where we're at.
Donald Trump also called veterans suckers and losers and said that John McCain was not a war hero, even though he was tortured for this country.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that really just answers my question. I also don't really believe half the shit that they put on the internet about anybody. So I appreciate y'all accepting my invite. Y'all have a good night.
You as well. You as well. All right, everyone, let's get on to the next person. If you are voting for Trump, make sure to type in the comment section right now. Type MAGA. Thank you so much for the confetti. I appreciate it. Let me get on to the next person. Harry is gone, so I'll just add up another person real quick. Do give it a second real quick, y'all. All right. And it seems like it's not working. All right, let me try a different individual. Only send a guest request if you will be voting for Trump in 2024. Let's get this next individual up here real quick. Keep tapping that screen. Let's run it to 2 million likes, everyone. If you want to support me or Harry, Venmo and Cash App is in the bio. I'd recommend clicking on the link tree in the bio if you do want to do that. Let me get the... Sorry, everyone. It takes a second to get people up here. None of these people are connecting. There we go. I think this person is. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, all right. The person's not there. We'll try the next person. Harry picks the best times to leave, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, all right. Let's get this next individual. This person has a cowboy hat. Yo, it's a Powell to you? Oh, that person's not there as well. All right. I'll try this person. Yo, it's a Powell to you? Yo, it's a Powell to you?
35.
Are you voting Trump?
Yes.
Why so?
Oh man, you know what? It's funny because I didn't vote for Trump the first time, and I started liking Trump in his third year, and I just think my life's been 100% times better 3 years ago than what it is right now.
3 years ago? You mean under COVID?
No, before COVID.
Before COVID, so you mean like 5 years ago? Okay, yes. So yeah, so why do you attribute all of the bad things that have happened specifically to the Biden-Harris administration?
Well, see, I'm trying to go by to when Trump was in office, is like saying that those 4 years were the good years. It's like they always try to say, "Oh, those are Obama's implementation."
Well, no, like what specific things did the Biden-Harris administration do that made it worse?
Well, I mean the fact that no one believes in the country anymore. You know, like it's crazy to think that they're pandering so much to.
What do you mean no one believes in this country?
Well, you know, because there's so much division in this country. You know, they're going to.
Do you think that was caused by Donald Trump? Because to me, that was caused by Donald Trump when he undermined our American democracy, when he sent fake electors to the Electoral College, asked for the 11,000 votes, told Mike Pence not to certify the election results, and when Mike Pence didn't do it, got a vice president who did say that he would not certify the election results.
Yeah, but
that makes this country not united.
The Democrats also said that to Trump when he won the election, saying that
they looked for evidence, and immediately when there was proven not sufficient evidence in the context of these reports, like we didn't have sufficient evidence to say that he colluded with Russia. Well, obviously people weren't believing it, and they also didn't try to like withhold the peaceful transition of power by trying to get the vice president to not certify the election results. Joe Biden quite literally certified the election results of Donald Trump winning.
No, I get that, but like, see, like, how can I believe the Democratic Party when, like, literally, like 2 weeks ago, you guys were saying that Biden was still good to be president for 4 more years?
Okay, so I don't think his cognitive state is the reason why he couldn't. I think it's because of the population's view of his cognitive state. Like they thought his cognitive state wasn't to the point in which it's necessary. That's not necessarily like indicating whether or not it was, or whether or not like Joe Biden believes that. Joe Biden thinks he's in a good enough cognitive state to be able to continue. Like I think that's pretty like obvious that Joe Biden thinks that.
First thing I want to say, what's up, Harry, man? I think it's the funniest thing seeing you on Piers Morgan.
Oh. It's a new guy.
Yeah,
it is a new person because they left like right after you left.
That's great.
Thank you for putting somebody in. I appreciate that.
I'm a little bit starstruck, man. I see you got on Piers Morgan. I think.
No, bro. No. Yeah, no. I love Piers Morgan's show. It's fun to debate him and other people.
Yeah, he's a good debater, man. It's like, but yeah, I mean, like we'll sign your friend here. Like, it's just really hard for me to think that you guys were champion Biden, but now you guys saw him in the debate, and like, you guys really think he could have gotten another 4 years?
Yeah. I think his record speaks for itself. I mean, that's what we have to look at, right? If he's able to accomplish that much, then I think that matters more than anybody's commentary on his mental state. Like, look, Republicans have been saying that Biden's mentally deficient for 4 years now.
And now they're not willing to say it about Donald Trump.
And yeah, now they're not willing to say it about their guy.
I mean, Donald Trump is an old guy, you know, but
he's in cognitive decline. He clearly is not as quick as he was like in the past. Yeah, right. And Kamala Harris is way more intellectually there. She is significantly more cognitively there. She's not in cognitive decline. She's not raging lunatic. She's not delusional. When Donald Trump quite literally denies climate science, he denies the facts about the election that he lost. Right.
So I have a question. So you know, Kamala's in, right? Kamala's in. So like Kamala, I'm sorry, I always get her name wrong. How do you guys think it's right that they just put her in front of us and
she's the vice president? No, if the president steps down, the vice president steps out. That's how it works.
And also, like, she wasn't just put in front of us. DNC rules allow for delegates to vote for whoever they want if the person they pledge delegates to are like no longer wants to be the nominee. So the delegates unanimously said that, hey, we're going to vote for Kamala Harris because she is the natural heir. So this is like part of the Democratic Party. It's part of the Republican Party. And it is what it is.
But do you think, and in your party, because like if let's say the Tulsi guy, right? If she ran, you wouldn't vote for Tulsi. You don't think?
No,
why not?
No, she's like a raging conspiracy theorist now.
Yeah, and she did fundraisers at Mar-a-Lago for Donald Trump. Like,
why
would we do that?
But she qualifies, right? She's what, like 6 years in Congress, like governor of Alaska, or what is it? Like, but
she was a representative from Hawaii, and I'm like, they're like people who have served in government whose service would make them like qualified to be president. But, you know, they still have awful views. So you could serve in government for 20 years and be like in the military and be in these high ranking positions and get that necessary experience. But if you're still having shitty policy, I don't think you should be president of the United States.
So do you think if Kamala wins, you think the country's going to do better?
Yes.
Like, how come it couldn't be better in these 3 years of Biden?
It has objectively gotten better.
Comparative to if Donald Trump was president, absolutely it's better.
But you're gonna say, oh, it's because the gas, but gas was cheaper, groceries were cheaper.
Wait, Donald Trump's policy as it relates to economic policy is inflationary.
Yeah, but they were good. They were good in his presidency.
No. Listen. When Trump gets in office, what is he going to do to mitigate inflation?
Well, at least you know he can go negotiate with whoever they need to negotiate. Is it
seriously? No. How are they going to? How is he going to deal with inflation? Tell me.
Well, hopefully he's going to bring back jobs here. You know, like people think they're getting
what?
First time.
None of this is dealing with inflation. So his tax policy again is inflationary. It will lead to an increase in prices. That's what tariffs do.
But so I mean, I know what tariffs are. So I live in the border, so I see a lot of you know what they do with the trade. So a lot of stuff is created in Mexico, but it's cheaply made, man. So basically, what they're doing is they're making things cheap, but yet they come and resell things here like at 300%, right? So I think it's a good idea we put tariffs because like the American people are the ones suffering here. I don't know if that makes sense.
Tariffs hurt the American people. If you want to benefit business in America, engage in tax credits. Don't engage in tariffs, which are an act of war, a weapon of war, and hurt American consumers and businesses.
Didn't Trump give families $2,500 more in tax credit?
Actually, well, the tax credits want to be increased for families that have children. For each child under the age of 5 years old or 5 years old or under, it goes from $2,000 to $3,600. That's what the Harris administration wants to do.
Right. So what are they going to do for like the single people? Are they going to get taxed as much, or are they going to get taxed?
So no. They want to keep all the same tax cuts for people who make under $400,000 a year, while increasing it on people who make over $400,000 a year to pay for that child tax credit that I just mentioned. That reduced child poverty by 50% when implemented.
So they're going to start taxing people that make $400,000 more a year.
Yeah.
But like, is that just regular people, or is that like businesses?
People making $400,000 a year or more are not regular people. They're people in the top 1% of this country. If you make, and it's only on the income over $400,000. If you're making $400,000, I think you're going to be fine with the slightly higher tax rate to make sure that children have food on the table. Like what?
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to flex, dude, but I make $400,000 a year.
Cool. If you make $400K, only the income you have over $400K is taxed that much more.
But
it sounds incredibly selfish for you to say that you care more about your extra money over $400K, right? Comparative to the children eating.
I also employ a lot of people. And
but it's with your personal income. It's not with the business income.
Yeah, but we're
and you can get taxed. You can have some deductions for stuff like that. So you'll be just fine, man. You'll be just fine.
What I do right now. So
dude, you make $400K, you're gonna be just fine, bro.
No,
if you make over $400K,
there's a lot of people that don't make $400K, and that people are struggling right now.
And those people are gonna get the same tax cuts.
So exactly, we want to help those people by raising taxes on the wealthy to pay for like social programs and
keeping their
tax cuts. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if that's what it is, I mean, it doesn't sound as bad. But yeah, I still think that the country was a lot smoother when Trump was in. And the problem is, I didn't even like Trump when he first came in. Like, it was just.
So we had like North Korea threatening us all the time. Iran was attacking us. Iran was attacking our allies. We had an insurrection, a pandemic he fumbled, and constant chaos from his tweets. Like, I feel like everybody remembers that feeling of waking up every day and being like, God, what did he tweet overnight? Oh,
that's literally what Matt said. Matt's literally every day I would wake up and it'd be like, oh my God, did Trump literally on the toilet start World War III?
Yeah, but you gotta understand that he's not a politician. You know, he's not.
He literally, by definition, is a politician, dude.
Well, I mean, yeah,
he also called himself a politician.
At first, he wasn't. He was like, literally, he was like.
Yeah, at first, everyone wasn't. Wait, at first, Kamala wasn't either.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But like, what I'm saying is that at my 4 years of experience with him was like way better than what is right now. Because everybody, all they talk about is like how much the world is divided. Like, I think it's a split right now, man. People are like red or blue, you know, and it's just. He said why don't we gonna be a unifier? Did he not say that?
Wait, why wouldn't, if your like view is like, oh yeah, we should have unity, why would you not vote for Kamala Harris? Like, Trump has called his political opponents vermin. He calls Democrats socialists, communists, and fascists all the time. He said awful things about immigrants coming to the country, saying they're poisoning the blood of the country. He made up conspiracy theories about Joe Biden. He pushed birtherism about Barack Obama, and now he's doing it about Kamala Harris and like questioning whether she's black or not. Like,
and mispronouncing her name on purpose. They're literally fake.
Her name on purpose.
Yeah, seriously. There's a leaked like a call of him being like, oh, talking about Biden saying he's broken down and saying Kamala's name correctly. But now he specifically says her name incorrectly on purpose.
I'm sorry, but it is a hard name to pronounce.
No, it's not. He had it done before. Do you want to hear him say it correctly before?
Kamala.
No, he says Kamala. It's Kamala. It's really not that difficult.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I just. But
wait. My point is, all those things I just mentioned to you are far more divisive than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Like, during Biden's administration, 4 out of the 7 pieces of major policy they passed had Republican votes. One of the first things that Joe Biden did when he got into office for the American Rescue Plan was invite 8 Republican senators into the Oval Office to negotiate with them on that bill. He didn't have to do that. They can use a system in the Senate where they can overcome the filibuster with a bill like that and then have the House vote on it, and they control the Senate and the filibuster to get the bill passed. But he invited Republicans in to negotiate with them. That is like the clearest sign of unity yet. So if you care about unity and bringing the country together, you'd vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, not Donald Trump.
Trump had Schumer in the White House too. And then
he had Schumer in the White House for the debt ceiling bills.
Right. But I mean, we all have to work together. I get that. But like what I'm saying is that I really trust Donald Trump to get the job done.
The pathological liar.
I mean, they're all liars, man. They're all liars. All politicians.
He lies way more.
Every human lies. Every human lies. Right? No human is perfect.
Biden lied in
Donald Trump told over 30,000 lies during his presidency, averaging around 20 lies a day. Can you imagine lying 20 times a day for 4 years straight? Probably not, right?
I couldn't picture it. I mean, that's crazy.
Okay, so if you can't picture that for yourself, why would you want to vote for somebody who does that?
Because like I'm repeating to you, this is what probably a lot of MAGA people think, that their life was way better with Trump.
Here, I'll ask you this question. Maybe this will get you. Would you ever vote for a violent sexual offender?
I mean, I don't want to get into people's personal matters.
I'm just asking, would you ever vote for a violent sexual offender for president?
You know the answer to that. Man. Like right now, I probably would. Like,
you would?
Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
You'd vote for a violent sexual offender.
Look, I'm not gonna comment. Like, I'm not, because
that's crazy, bro.
Come on, man. What state are you voting in?
What happened?
What state are you voting in?
I'm in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parker's vote will cancel out yours. It's fine.
Yeah, seriously, bro.
You know, but I live in California. I'm working class in California, and right now, dude, California is going down.
I'm sorry. Working class. I feel like $400,000. Like,
dude, I hustle, man. Like I'm telling you, I'm always working.
Yeah, wait, dude. Yeah, 400K. Saying you're working class, 400K is crazy.
Working class doesn't mean.
Why are you penalizing for me for working hard and being successful?
No.
We're not penalizing you for that. Good for you. I'm really happy that you did so well. What I'm saying though is like, typically
hustle.
when we say like working class, we're not going to mean people who are making like 400K plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, working class doesn't mean just people who work. It means Anyway, go ahead.
Like what I'm saying right now is that I'm a truck driver. I do pickups, right? And I see the streets. I see the homelessness. I see like the drug addiction, and it breaks my heart, man. Because I talk to a lot of these people, and they really say that no one.
Y'all saying 400K is not a lot in LA is crazy. I live in Los Angeles.
Dude, it's not
400K is a lot of money, bro.
You know how much a 1-bedroom apartment?
Yes, I live in Los Angeles. Okay.
How much is it?
Dude, yeah, you can get 1-bedroom apartments for over $2,000 now.
That's right.
Right, that's like studio 1-bedroom apartments in LA, like in LA City.
The minimum
Right.
wage here is like what, $20? You think people can pay rent with $20 and have rent for like 2,000?
Wait, we're talking about people. Someone who makes $400,000. Someone making $400,000. Your rent is going to be less than 1/10 of your income.
I live in Diamond Bar, man.
How much do you pay your employees?
I mean, they make like around a week. They make like 1,800.
1,800 a week. How are they going to afford themselves on that when you make way more than them? You said
No.
400K is not a lot, but you pay them 800, 1,800 a week
Yeah, but I have expenses. I have
before
insurance.
taxes.
Yes, I do. Like half. If you're in the trucking business, like half your income.
Wait,
goes
no,
into
wait.
it.
What you're not understanding is that you're saying that you don't have much, right? But what about them?
What about them, dude? They don't have the expenses that I have. I have truck payments. I have
Wait, are you
payments.
saying your revenue is 400K, or are you saying your take home?
No, I take home maybe like 80,000.
Okay, so no, your taxes are not going to go up. Your taxes are not going to go up.
No, but even when I present to
No. Listen, when we say 400K a year, we mean personal income that you would take out, not like 400K for your business. That's all deductible. Okay, you're not gonna get taxed on that. You're only gonna get taxed on the 80,000. So your taxes will stay the same. If anything, when you have kids, you'll pay less in taxes.
Okay, I get that. What about the grocery store that makes more than 400,000? Where do you think they're gonna cover their taxes?
It's individual. It's individual. It's not. Correct me if I'm wrong, Parker, but isn't it individual earners, not businesses? I mean, businesses will have their taxes increase, but not via the $400,000.
Yeah. So the $400,000 a year is personal income.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so the company that the grocery store that makes $400,000 a year, there might be.
It's not taxed at that rate. Yeah.
Yeah, they're taxed at different rates. Businesses are taxed at different rates than your individual earner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to make it clear that a lot of people are.
And also, that's not his taxable income. His taxable income would only be the stuff that he takes out personally.
But you know
that's
what?
all deductible because it's his business related
But you know
expenses.
what? Like, I know you guys think that Donald Trump, he like doesn't pay taxes, but those were brought in by Democrats. Those were their layouts of taxes. So they get mad at Trump for not paying taxes. I use the same taxes Trump does. I don't want to pay taxes. What do? I buy another truck. You know what I'm saying? Those are the rules that the Democrats laid out for us.
Democrats?
I don't know why everybody says Democrats.
You understand Republicans likely would have put in those provisions, right? We just want to say this. Like, we're down for changing the tax code, right? I'm down to make it so that it's not okay for people like Donald Trump to pay $750 in taxes. That's insane to me. Right? I do think that the rich gets away with paying very little taxes, whereas the middle class takes a huge burden.
Let me just say something. This is a little theory I have. I know everyone's like, Bezos makes millions and doesn't pay taxes or whatever. Amazon, eBay. I don't know. But yet all those people, I'm like, I admire Jeff Bezos because you know what? He employs millions of people, and we should admire.
My Lord.
He does.
Yeah, and literally, you saying he employs millions of people does not mean that he.
You don't think the
first of all
world
does not mean that he shouldn't pay any taxes. Right, that's pretty fucking insane. He literally controls hundreds of billions of dollars.
You don't think the world needs more Elon Musk and more?
I think Elon Musk's.
Yeah, definitely not. Elon Musk is crazy.
Dude,
Elon Musk says that their trans daughter is dead to a woke mind virus.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into that. I mean, and that's whatever he says. That's his business. I don't want to get involved with the trans. There's a lot of issues right now. What I'm saying, California is full of Teslas, and apparently they don't mind the Teslas. LA is full of Teslas.
LA is full of Teslas.
So how people don't like him if everybody's buying his cars?
You understand that buying Teslas does not mean that he's just a likable person and overall. And even if people did like him, that doesn't mean that you should like him.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I mean, a lot of people like him. So
you like him even though what I just told you is true.
He protects freedom of speech, man. He's like, I like it.
He protects freedom of speech. Okay, so how do you feel about Trump saying that if you burn the American flag, you should go to prison for a year?
Dude, it's, any country you go, you burn their flag.
Wait. That's not freedom of expression. That's not freedom of speech.
Dude, but that's our country, man. You gotta have some sort of right.
So?
So you think it's okay to burn the American flag?
Okay, wait. So I have a question. In the Confederacy, do you think it should have been illegal to burn the Confederate flag?
See, but that doesn't represent America what it is right now.
No. I'm just asking you, given your same reasoning, if you were in the Confederacy, would you advocate that it should be illegal to burn the Confederate flag?
I can't speak for the Confederate because I wasn't a Confederate, so I wouldn't say. But I wouldn't want American flags to be burned.
So no, I'm just asking the question. Like, if you lived in the Confederacy, do you think that it should be illegal to burn the Confederate flag?
Well, yeah, because I was in the Confederacy.
Yes.
Dude, I'm not in the Confederacy. You're just trying to trick me to say
that's just insane, bro. Okay, wait. So if you lived in Nazi Germany, right? Would you say it should be illegal to burn the Nazi flag?
Dude, but we're talking about the American. The same flag you fly under is the American.
No. What I'm disputing is
Whatever
that just because we live in a country, that means you shouldn't be able to burn the flag. I'm not saying I like people burning the flag. What I'm saying is that it should be legal because it's a fundamental right to be able to argue against your government. If you think it's tyrannical, you should be able to argue against that.
So you think it's okay to burn the American flag?
I think it should be legal to burn the American flag.
You don't think the American flag stands for something?
It can stand for something and still be legal to burn it. Right?
So,
do you think it should be legal to? Do you think it should be? Wait, hold up.
Out of respect.
Okay, out of respect. Do you think it should be legal to burn the pride flag?
Dude, I don't want to burn any flag because
do you think it should be legal to burn a pride flag?
Dude, we're not talking about. See, like those are. I'm not gonna. I don't want to get involved.
Do you think it should be legal to burn a pride flag?
You know what? If it offends people, it probably should be illegal. If it offends someone. If trans people or gay people get offended, I wouldn't want to burn their flag.
Okay, so should it be illegal to? Should it be illegal to burn a Nazi flag because some Nazis would get offended?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say something. We should have burned all Nazi flags because you know that guy killed 20 million people, and
okay. So now you're making a different argument.
No, because that guy actually ended a lot of people's lives for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That guy was crazy. But I'm talking about American flag is out of respect. People died for that flag.
You understand that it would also be respect as it relates to the context of the pride flag. It would also be respect for other flags. Wait,
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Let's say Trump wins. See, Biden won, and I respected it. He's my president. So if Trump wins, are you going to respect him?
Am I going to respect him as a person? No. But I will acknowledge that he's president. I won't deny it like he will. I will acknowledge that he won. He's not going to win, but I will acknowledge that he won.
Are you going to say respect him, Harry?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, we won't respect him as a person, but we will acknowledge that he's our president. Yeah.
Well,
we will respect the election and the process of our democratic government, but we will never respect that man as a person.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Like, I'm going to say I'm leaning towards being more of a Republican, right? And this is just, I know. But like what I'm saying, I would have never want as a president to be hurt like what happened to Trump a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Political violence.
Oh yeah, we agree. We agree that's
what
bad.
I'm saying,
so why did Trump think it's okay to laugh at the fact that Paul Pelosi got beaten with a hammer?
Because you're not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Paul Pelosi. I know someone tried to break it down in his house, but we don't even know what happened. We don't even know the real story of why that guy was in his house. It's. I mean,
yeah, we do.
What? Someone broke in, right?
He wanted to come take the life of Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi.
Well, I mean, I heard
the guy's now sitting in jail, by the way.
I heard a story where he was like, he didn't get payment for some kind of service. You know, that's what I heard. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
That's nonsense. No, he's already been prosecuted and convicted of this crime. He wanted to take the life of Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi.
Not all Republicans, how you guys think that we hate Biden. We just don't hate. We just want our lives to be better. We want to live a normal life, and
Trump's going to make it worse. I'm sorry to break it to you,
exactly.
But you've been sold a lie.
That's why it's so frustrating. That's why it's so frustrating because Trump
was already president for 4 years, and it wasn't like you guys, say it was.
I don't understand. It's like he inherited a great economy from Obama. Like Obama gave him a layup. Man. He just alley-ooped Obama, alley-ooped Trump, and then when Trump makes the basket by not fucking up the economy for his first 3 years, by literally doing nothing, not helping anybody, not doing anything, then you guys are like, well, let's give him some applause. This guy's pretty good. No, he didn't actually do it. He didn't do anything to make your life better. And if he wins, the inflation rate will not go down, gas prices will not go down, the price of the grocery store will not go down. Nothing will change, except now, instead of having like Vice President Kamala Harris, who has actual policy in office, we'll have a guy who wants to be a dictator in office, and nothing will still change. So I feel like the choice couldn't be more clear.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it too, that he didn't fuck it up, which is a good thing. That's a really good thing for a president. But yeah,
2020.
When Biden
not fucking up the economy is
look what happened to Biden.
Oh Lord.
Trump, for his first 3 years in office, could have put his feet up on the desk, done nothing, and the economy would have performed the same.
I mean, like I said,
if not better.
We are making bank when
if not better, right? Yeah, exactly. If not better.
I mean, who knows? Well, we'll find out in November, right?
That's what he wants to do now too. He just wants to get out of his crimes. He wants to pardon himself.
I mean,
selling you a lie, him lying to you over and over again is just him trying to get away from his fucking bad actions.
If you believe in the justice system, he'll probably get what he deserves. But as of right now, he's a candidate for president.
He pardons himself.
President. I mean, well, that's just open. See, I don't like that. You know, like, and that means anybody's getting pardoned himself now. You know, but it is what it is, man. At the end, we'll find out in November, and I'm still gonna be voting for Trump. So let's see what happens.
Okay. All right, man. Well, hey, appreciate the conversation.
Bro, and I mean, it's funny. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming up. I always appreciate the conversation. You have a good night, all right?
You too.
Thanks, man. Yo, Hillary, thank you for the $5 on Cash App. I appreciate you. Faith, thank you for the $5 as well. Kylan, thank you for the $1. I appreciate that. John, thank you for the $25 as well on Cash App. Janet, thank you for the $2 as well. Janet, thank you for another $1. Ivan, thank you for the $10 as well. I appreciate it so much. Toy, thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Shaney, thank you for the $10. And Sammy, thank you for the $1. And Zidium, thank you for the $1.11. And on Venmo, thank you, Jenna, for the $5. I appreciate you. Jordan, thank you for the Wow, Jordan. Keep that to yourself. Jordan, thank you for the $5 as well. I appreciate that. Janet, thank you for the $1. And Ashley, thank you for the $20 as well. And Clinton, thank you for the $10. And wait. Timothy, thank you for the $5. Jalexia, thank you for the $10. And Trista, thank you for the $15. I appreciate you. All right.
Rough. All right, let's get on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you will be voting for Trump in 2024, y'all. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Only looking for some Trump supporters.
Let's see.
If you want to support me or Harry, Venmo, Cash App in the bio.
Venmo, Cash App in the bio for both of us. Venmo,
Brent, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. And Yvonne said, talk about Trump suing Veterans Affairs for signing up veterans to vote. Do you know anything about that?
I have not read about that, actually. So feel free to...
I definitely need to read into that.
Yeah, send an article our way on that if you have resources. Can I invite this guy? Thank God. All right.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Smarty Pants, who's been spamming a live. I just invited you. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. And, of course, follow Parker. He does lives all day, every day, different topics, all of that good stuff. So definitely give Parker a follow as well. And we hit 2 million likes, everybody. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you for the $5. Keep tapping that screen. Everyone, get to 2.5 million likes.
Lizard Queen, thank you for the $2 as well on Cash App. Just came in. Appreciate you.
You voting Trump?
Harry Parker, appreciate you bringing me up. Yes, I am going to do that.
Why are you voting Trump?
Why?
Well, listen, guys. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that you're both very well read. By any measurable metric, your intelligence is superior. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and try to demean or belittle or, any of the things that some of the guys that come up here try to do. You know what I mean? I think for me, when you look at some of the arguments that you make, not saying they're invalid, I do think that Trump is, by any normal, measurable, categories and metrics, he is a reprehensible human being. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a good guy. I think if you were to stack Kamala and Trump together in terms of who's a better human being, I don't think you can make a very salient argument for Trump being a better person as an individual. I do think, however, that when you look at the two parties and the direction that they're going, my vote will be more informed by the overall direction of the country as opposed to individual, more micro-minded things that either one of these individuals may have participated in.
Yeah, can you name me a policy that you like that Donald Trump influenced to get passed?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So like that goes back to the argument. I mean, I listen to you guys a lot. Again, nothing but respect. I think you guys are smart dudes. You're younger than me, and I think part of how you see the board is informed by kind of where you are in life versus where I am. But yeah, I mean, I hear all the arguments, right? Like you're gonna talk about the Ships and Science Act, and you're gonna talk about. I mean, I won't even like spend time going through. I listen to you guys, man. Like I enjoy listening to you, right? And you're gonna say Trump didn't do a whole lot, Tax and Jobs Act, and how that didn't help anybody but the wealthy, this, that, and the third. And like I've heard arguments against that. Whatever the case may be.
I don't say it didn't help anyone but the wealthy. What I say is that it predominantly speaking helped the wealthy, and it increased the debt. Specifically by 1.9 trillion. It only increased GDP by 0.02%, according to a liberal and conservative economist from Harvard. So small gains in the economy for benefits to the rich people. What I would say is we should keep all the tax cuts that were specifically applicable to people who made under $400,000 a year. And then let's get rid of the ones for people who make over $400,000 a year, increase it on them, and bring back a child tax credit from 2021 that decreased child poverty by 50%.
I'm not fighting you on any of that, right? Like, so understand first and foremost, I'm a black man, you know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing, right? Because I feel like many times Democrats are wolves in sheep's clothing in terms of historically things that have been marketed or put into the system as good had maybe unintended consequences, maybe not, maybe it was planned, whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think all the things that are presented as like DEI and inclusion and all that necessarily bear out to be that in the long run. But here's what I'd like to say, guys.
Did I mention anything that was like specifically in relation to that?
No. But here's my argument, and I could be swayed. So like, let me say that, first and foremost, I do not like Donald Trump as a person. I understand all the arguments, man. I listen to you guys frequently, man. Like, so I know you'll talk about more than likely, was held liable for grape, and more than likely, preponderance of the evidence, 10-year-old, what he said about her, And again, like, I don't think he's a good guy. Like, I don't think he's a good man. But from my ideology, which is very much a mixed bag, like, neither team seems to be the right choice, but there's less that I take issue with, I guess, with Team Red than Team Blue. And let me lay it out, right? So again, my ideology is a mixed bag. I'm registered as no party preference. I will vote Democrat. I will vote Republican based on what I think is more appropriate for me on a micro level. I understand the game to kind of like be such that I've got to do what I've got to do to put me and my family in the best position to win. And if I feel like one side is more aligned with that objective at any given time, then that's typically the side I'm going to go. I'm not naive enough to think that a president single-handedly is going to change the scope and the overall trajectory of things. I do understand that they have influence. One thing I know, I've kind of heard you guys update this. A lot of times back in the day, you would say, what policies did they pass? And obviously they don't pass policies. They either, sign them or veto them. And, Congress is the ones that write
the
pass policies.
Influence to get passed.
Yeah. But I picked up on that. I'm giving you credit, man. Like, I think I've heard you guys kind of like shift away from that and update that verbiage. But again, so going back to kind of my mixed bag ideology, right? Like, obviously on social issues and things that are oppressive to African Americans, like, I feel like even though the Republicans try to talk a good game, like, they don't do anything actionable to necessarily improve conditions for people in my community. Parker, I know you grew up Christian and based on any number of factors and research and things, that you've kind of like delved into, have decided that you don't buy it. And like that could be a completely different theological conversation. I'm not here to do that, but I wouldn't say that my ideology is necessarily shaped and informed by that, but there are certain things that even from a logical standpoint don't make a ton of sense to me. I guess for me, it's more like,
here, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
like what specifically do you see to be bad with a Kamala Harris presidency?
So here's the thing. She's obviously got to pander to her base and who she thinks is going to give her the biggest chance to win. And so she's doubling down on things like abortion. She's doubling down, and framing it as, women's rights. And I hear you guys, talking about healthcare and this and that. And I get it, right? There are 100% cases of women who could potentially lose their lives if medical intervention, didn't happen. I also understand that, I guess the way it's framed, man, like when you frame it as like just rights, me personally, like I'm married, I got kids, it wouldn't be an option for me, but I'm not so, selfish to like not be able to understand, somebody else's circumstances, even like turn back time and think about myself as a younger man and what would have happened if some random had gotten knocked up and wanted to do that. I'd probably been all for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like, I'm holier than thou or, whatever the case may be. It's not right for me. I personally believe on that issue, like, the federal government shouldn't be involved at all, right? Like, so they shouldn't subsidize it. They shouldn't ban it. Like, but they shouldn't, you can't have one without the other, right? You can't say, women's rights, do whatever you want, but then the federal government is also subsidizing this thing that, like, for one reason
they can't due to the Hyde Amendment.
Can't do to the what?
They can't give federal funds for abortion due to the Hyde Amendment.
Well, maybe not federal funds, but like tax breaks for nonprofit organizations that deal in that space. Like I'm saying, like
no, not for that particular activity. That's not legally allowed constitutionally.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then like I would support the federal government not being involved at all, either way.
Let's do Roe versus Wade. Codify Roe versus Wade. What Kamala Harris is advocating for. Donald Trump putting multiple Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade clearly is getting the government involved in that process.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right on that front. You know what I mean? Like clearly he's being controlled too, though, right? Like I don't think he's even smart enough to concoct a plan that devious to try to like achieve certain ends based on his own intellect or agenda, man. Like I think the guy's a narcissist and is really just trying to like save himself this time around. But I also think that he
probably
loves the
should
fame.
vote for him then, right?
Well, but here's the thing. Again, when you talk about like subtract the man, because I don't have any love for Donald Trump, just like I really don't have any love for Kamala Harris. I live in California too. I know you do as well. I don't know what part. I don't. Okay, so let's shift to the alphabet gang, right? The LGBTQIA plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, man. What it's evolved to at this point, right? Like, again,
it's not that many letters.
Well, that was actually numbers that I tacked on there. I think
I know what I was saying is it's not that many letters. It's not that hard to remember. You remembered it correctly. You just added those things to make it sound dumb.
I've actually seen additional characters that I was not familiar with and did not do the research to understand what it actually entailed.
LGBTQIA plus I.
No.
Meaning intersex.
Some people.
A meaning asexual.
Some people add letters or numbers beyond that, and I've seen it on this app and didn't fully understand what it was. So
I wonder where you saw that.
Oh man, anybody with 1,000 followers can go on there and do whatever they want, man, and come up with whatever theories that they want. But here's my thing, right? And again, on this particular issue, right? I'm more of the standpoint that like it's not my business, right? And I don't need to interject or interfere. But I think that a lot of times the conversation is framed in such a way that it's essentially people have turned something that is the exception and made it the rule and created a sense of entitlement behind exceptions that aren't the rule. If you look at how it's portrayed in every piece of media or content that you consume, it is disproportionately represented beyond what exists in the population, right? Like, and that's anecdotal. I don't have a source. I don't have some specific reference for that, but you can watch TV or go on the internet and clearly see that there's an agenda. And I think, and I've even heard people who are LGBTQIA say that they don't necessarily
agenda to accept GAY people.
No, an agenda to normalize something that is actually an exception, right?
Like what? An
do you mean?
exception? What do you mean an exception?
I'm saying
normalize being GAY. Yeah, what's the issue with normalizing being GAY?
Well, because if you look at straight statistics, it wouldn't be normal, right? Like if you
What
look
do you
at
mean by normal? It's not normal. Wait, should it be normalized to have hazel eyes?
no,
No.
why would it be? That's
You
more
think
of an
you think there's an issue with me having hazel eyes? Wait, Harry, do you as well?
No. I did no.
Yeah,
don't-
wait, Harry has hazel too. Yo, we both have hazel.
Don't put words in my mouth. No, it's not. I'm saying, but it's not normal. Like I wouldn't say that it's proportionally more people have hazel eyes than anything else. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Like,
yeah, no, we're not saying that. We're not saying there's more proportional GAY people comparative to straight people.
you know, but I'm saying the way that it gets portrayed, there's an over indexing in the media, you know, and I'm not talking about news or what I'm saying, like just, you know, your run of the mill show, your run of the mill Netflix binge, like Hollywood has found a way to inject this in a disproportionate way.
Disproportionate? How is it disproportionate? The only thing that's been disproportionate is literally addressing people who are straight and pushing heteronormative values onto people.
No, man. Like that's the thing, right? So here's an analogy for you, right? Like if you go to Starbucks, you don't ask for.
Can you give me one Disney movie that's about like GAY individuals?
Well, I mean, I think that there's plenty of them that
give
are.
Me one?
Because
I can mention like multiple that are about heterosexual relationships.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, I think there's plenty that is planted in there that subjectively could be interpreted that way. I mean, that's art, man. You can't make
give me one.
No. Hold up, Parker. You can't make an objective argument about that.
I just want one. I just literally want one.
No. Listen, what I'm saying is like art is highly subjective, bro. I can make an argument about any of them. I can make an argument about literally any piece of art that has ever been released and say that it was.
Can you name one of them?
What do you? I could make an argument. I'm not going to say that it's.
Where we don't know one.
Parker, I'm saying like I can't make an ironclad like this was 100% the agenda. I could talk about anything sprinkled in. So Buzz Light or Lightyear. Right? Like I could make an argument about that, like the way that they had, what was the reason for having two moms in that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hating on it, but it did create a series of questions for my, at the time, 6-year-old who didn't understand what he was.
What's going on with it?
Yeah, no, what happened? I don't know.
I
lost it, yo.
What's happening?
Yo, dude, what happened?
Dude, there's something happening over there. My attention.
Did anyone see like the flying squirrel?
Yeah, maybe see. I don't know what happened. I actually don't know what happened. I guess we'll never know. I just guess we'll never know.
Jesus Christ. Yo, Toy, thank you so much for the $5. Zid, thank you for the $1.11. Tay, thank you for the $1 or the $10. Thank you so much, Gail. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much, and Roxy, thank you for the $1. As well as Rhonda, thank you for the $5.
Yo, Olga, thank you so much for the $1. Jenny, thank you for the $3 as well. Mimi, thank you for the $2. I appreciate you all in Cash App and on Venmo. Lexi, thank you for the $1. Steph, thank you for the $10 as well. I appreciate you. Bridget, thank you for the $10, saying thanks for what you're doing. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Bridget. And Brenna, thank you for the $5. JD Vance did a recent interview about his involvement with the Heritage Foundation and some random outposts on Capitol Hill. Yeah, crazy. Like, they're obviously very much intertwined. Rhonda, thank you for the $5. John, thank you for the $50 on Venmo, saying Simba for Prez. Can we please get some W. Johns in the chat? I need at least 50 W. Johns. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. It's incredibly generous. W. John in the chat, please. We need some, at least 50. I'm not okay with the 100 plus, though. And Bren, thank you for the $5 as well. I appreciate you guys. I'm deciding. I'm going to watch Law and Order.
Yeah, I was honestly about to get off as well. I was about to say something.
Amanda, thank you for the subscription as well. Yeah, I'm going to go watch Law and Order and maybe play NCAA.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. I appreciate it.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, likewise.
Peace out, everyone.
Say bye, Parker, everybody. Everybody show some love to Parker. And, of course, follow Parker if you haven't already. If you haven't followed Parker and you like live debates, I don't know what's the issues here. Why wouldn't you? It's like, it's as obvious as choice as voting for Kamala Harris. You should absolutely go vote, go support Parker, but vote for Parker if he ever runs for office. We're going to have the TikTok caucus, me, Dean, Chris, and Parker. It's TikTok caucus. in Congress one day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to the live. I appreciate you. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. I appreciate all of y'all. We do lives and videos every single day. And I also post on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and of course TikTok. All of those links are in my bio along with my Venmo and Cash App. All of that's there. And also tomorrow is a Saturday. So everybody, please enjoy your weekend. Get some, enjoy some relaxing time, sleep in, watch a movie. I don't know, watch a TV show, see some people you love, you care about, all that good stuff. Do some activities you enjoy and just have fun. So I appreciate all you guys. Keep fighting, keep putting in the work, keep fighting the good fight. You know how it is. And then we'll talk soon. Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon, everybody. Mwah. Bye.